is the time to call Optimize Generator People. Optimize is Louisiana's largest Generac dealership, servicing the entire 1012 corridor with 4 locations. With financing available and turnkey installation, there's never been a better time to call Optimize. Visit generatorpeople.com. That's generatorpeople.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, June 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 90 in hour 1 of today's show. We'll talk about the projected win totals for the New Orleans Saints headed into the 2024 season. We'll also talk about the latest news surrounding the NBA. New BRCC basketball coach Brandon Schmidt joins us at 7:45. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome in. Brand new day of OTB here on 104.5 ESPN. It is June 6, 2024. It's Off the Bench. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. If you want to get involved in the Body Forward YouTube chat, come hang out. Get your comments in there, or you can just listen to us on your radio, which is awesome as well. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today here on this Thursday, heading into the weekend. Weekend vibes starting to crank up. Off-season vibes definitely cranking up. We'll talk to Coach Beth Torina as well at 8 a.m. today to kind of put a bow on our weeklies for this softball season. Also, we're going to catch up with Jay Johnson, but he is flying to see a recruit. We will catch up with him early next week, Monday or Tuesday. So looking forward to that, certainly. We got a CBS and DraftKings. Well, DraftKings put it out. There was a CBS article breaking down what they think, but we have some NFL season win totals, and maybe no shock here, the NFC South not very bullish on your New Orleans Saints. I think maybe some value there. We'll get into it here in a minute. Jake, what's going on, man? How are we feeling today? How's the back holding up?
The elevators are fixed apparently, but I was like, I don't really know if I want to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
For these elevators, they've been known. When you got a sign that's by the elevators like we talked about yesterday, it's kind of like being sarcastic about the elevators. Yeah. It makes me a little sketchy.
Yeah, no, like I said, it was a bit of an Icarus moment. That funny sign joke flew too close to the sun. It's not a sign that somebody just put up, scrawled on paper. It's painted onto a nice wall mural.
Yeah, after being redone recently.
Yeah. So I only know of one person getting stuck though ever. I think Jay Cody maybe, and somebody else got stuck for a while.
I think Hanny's been stuck before. Yeah. As well.
When it broke, Brittany, she had to get rescued from it.
Cody was stuck for 3 hours, I think.
Ooh, that's a small elevator, too.
Yeah. I was going to test it for you, but then I was like, no, they need an audio producer.
What do you do if you're stuck in the elevator and you just got to go to the bathroom?
I mean, what situation? Either? You're talking about either?
Well, I mean,
because if it's the first option, then you probably have something in your backpack or something you can...
I don't
maybe
know
make it work.
Maybe you might have a cup. You might have a cup or something. It might just be in a corner or something. But I think we all realize this conversation eventually leads to the real panic of what do you do if it's the other situation.
Yeah. I would tell myself I don't need to go.
Well, I mean, some people can't do that like T-Bob.
I hope, I hope. I would push it to the limit, right? Yeah. But at a certain point, you might just might end up like Cartman in that South Park episode. Bathroom.
You know what? Again, I'd rather be really slow up the stairs for a couple of days. I think until I figure out if old Otis did actually fix the elevator there. But I did think of you this morning.
Why's that?
Because I have to take Jackson to summer workouts every day because he's got to be there at 7:15. Doesn't make a lot of sense for KD to get Harlow up and bring him in, whatever. So it's kind of cool, though, because we talk about what the workout's going to be. And they're in their second round of 110s this morning. And he said he crushed the first time they did it last week. And they're running 8-minute break, like water break, 6 water break, and then 2. So I was like, okay, well, it's going to be 16 of them. But I kind of like the breakdown.
How long is that water break?
A minute.
No, like in between the 8 and the 6.
Yeah, like a minute.
So how long do they have in between reps?
So they don't do it like we used to, where it used to be. He says like they finish, and then the second group finishes, and the third group finishes. As soon as the third group finishes, whatever that time is, the first group's back up. So I was like, I don't know if
intense.
I know. I was like, I don't know if that would have been good.
Like that sounds kind of like you're getting like harder, like
almost
less
like
rest time.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
so I thought of
that sucks. You know, I will never run another 110 in my entire life. It's something I promised myself after I finished the test the last time, and I've held to that.
I'm just glad to hear that someone's still utilizing the 110s.
Yeah, for mental toughness, it's great.
Because when I heard Nick Saban tell me they didn't run 110s anymore, it was shocking. It was even more shocking when Kirby Smart said they didn't run 110s anymore.
Times are changing. We're getting old. But I still think there's some value there. It's great, though, because, again, that's just something you have to do when you're younger. And then when you're older, nobody can ever make you condition again. Instead, you can do what I did yesterday and go to pool Pilates class with a bunch of wonderful older women.
So are you –
and we got Trey.
Are you that reel that's going around that has all these white women, like, doing this acrobatic stuff, and it says middle-aged white women will do anything but a normal workout?
I'm not that, you know. I love some member up at Soak or whatever. I love dabbling in all the different classes that they offer. So yeah, you know, I've been doing some Pure Barre. I did
all of it's great.
Dance cardio class,
whatever gets you out there.
Pool Pilates.
How similar is your pool class to like the opening scene of Austin Powers when they're all wearing the pink in the pool? Remember, and they're doing like the synchronized.
It's not too similar to that, though. I'm surprised that you can reference Austin Powers given your age. How old would you have been when the original Austin Powers came out?
When did the original come out?
99 or 2000?
There's no way. No, the original had to be earlier, 99, huh? Or no? Is that right?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe you're
1997.
Right. Yeah, okay, there we go.
So I was 1 year old.
Yeah, okay.
1 year?
Don't act, Don't act.
1 year old.
It's only a year. It's a singular year. It's not.
Don't act surprised.
It's
if I'm surprised, don't act like miffed that I'm surprised that you're able to make a good Austin Powers reference.
It's Austin Powers, though. Like, everyone's seen that movie. It's not really a
Is
deep
that
cut
true
for movies.
amongst your generation? I
What
wonder.
year,
Every single
what year
person
were you
I know.
born?
89.
Have you ever seen Rocky?
That's a great point.
Do you want the honest answer? Like, have you ever
I
sat
don't
down
think
and
T-Bob-
watched
I
Rocky
think the answer is
beginning to
actually
end?
no.
Jake, have you ever seen Rocky?
I'm
Jake
a
loves
red-blooded
Yeah,
American. Of course I
exactly,
have.
Exactly.
Uh,
People watch movies before their time.
Okay, fair. I know, but I mean, so
Have you ever seen Gone with the Wind?
Okay, so-
you ever seen Wizard of Oz?
I've actually never seen Gone with the Wind.
Have you seen Wizard of Oz?
What's the movie? What's the Christmas movie that he's always talking about?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
There you go. I know you've
So
seen that.
what I'm saying,
That was
so
way
just
before you were
so
born.
just so we're all on the same page here, you're saying, and maybe this is the case, that Austin Powers has the cultural cachet of Gone with the Wind and It's a Wonderful Life.
Well, no,
and
but
Rocky.
people,
These are on the same level. That's what you're telling
I
me.
mean,
Austin Powers is pretty popular.
It is pretty popular. I'm
but-
not saying it's not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, own your take here.
Yeah, my
$1
point
million.
is that people watch movies that were made before their time, and Austin Powers is pretty popular, and people make references to it all the time.
Give me an Austin Powers reference.
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
There we go. Smoking a pancake, bonging a blitz.
I was going to say, though, we don't gnaw on our kitty. When he was biting the...
I mean, the
I
$1
haven't
million
seen it
is probably the
forever.
most famous, though. Like when $1 million.
Yeah, 1 million.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
like, I haven't seen that movie in forever.
I'm still alive. I'm very badly burned. But I'm still alive.
That's Will Ferrell, right?
Yeah, early Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Not pre SNL, but pre Superstar. Will Ferrell.
God, I mean,
not the movie Superstar.
What was like the
pre
Austin Powers
him becoming
tagline?
super
Like
famous.
Shag something, right?
No,
well, he said, yeah, baby.
Yeah,
That was kind of his thing.
That was it.
Better tagline: Jim Carrey in The Mask. Somebody stop me. Or yeah, baby.
I'm going to say yeah, baby, because he used it more. I mean,
That's
Jim
true.
Carrey had a ton in The Mask. Like, it wasn't just smoke it. Like,
PART. Why? Because I gotta. Love that one. It's like how I live my life
Party Bob.
Yeah. I had one more Austin Powers thing I wanted to say. Oh, my favorite Austin Powers joke ever. They're in the hot tub, and he has a bit of flatulence, and the girl says, Austin, how dare you break wind before me? He goes, oh, I'm sorry, baby. I wasn't aware it was your turn.
I literally made a reference to that scene like Saturday.
There we go. Okay, you know what, Tay-Tay? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm also proud of Paul Skeens.
Dude, your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
Wait, how did you have that Jonah Hill bit ready to go?
I had it like from a couple days ago, and nobody ever made a reference, so I never used it.
Oh, I don't even have my headphones on. I missed it.
Great job, Alondra.
This is the end. Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Like, your references are out of control. All
right, let's get into some NFC South win totals here. Or actually, you know what? Let's do this for a couple minutes because it's going to be a little less to talk about. Bring up that Paul Skeens versus Shohei Ohtani video because yesterday the Pirates and the Dodgers squared up. Skeens on the mound, and Pirates ended up winning. A workman-like performance from Skeens. Started, though, as dominant as ever. Strikes out Mookie Betts. Ohtani's up. He hits him. He blows 300-mile-per-hour fastballs by him. I'm not sure if they were all fastballs, but yep, they were. And if you're watching online, it is you can play it again there, Taylor. It is insane watching Skeens go to work, and you can see Ohtani trying to kind of find it, trying to adjust. And, well, Ohtani would go on to prove why he is one of the best hitters in the entire MLB as he comes up the next time in the third and he hits a 2-run bomb off of Skeens. Both things are insane to me, that Skeens is such a freak that he could blow 300-mile pitches by Ohtani, and that Ohtani is like the Borg from Star Trek. And it's like he fights you, he sees how you fight, and then he immediately adjusts and is able to do that.
I think I saw a stat that is Shohei's first ever extra base hit on 100-plus miles per hour.
It's also the first home run hit off of Skeens' fastball this year. Nobody else has touched it.
Shohei's 5. It says he's 5 of 15 when he's facing 100 miles, so he's still pretty good. But, for Skeens to go out there and do that against that lineup, to be able to work through that and have fantastic stuff. You strike out 8 guys. But like you said, you give up 3 runs. You have to work through a couple of different
6
things.
hits.
And you find a way to continue against that lineup. That's going to be one of the best, if not the best, that you face. And so that just shows you already where Paul Skeens is, to be able to navigate his way through a lineup and get a quality start against the Dodgers.
Yeah, it was 7-3 in the 5th. Bases loaded, and he finds his way out of that jam. So we know the stuff is there, but Skeens continuing to learn or continuing to show that he can battle and that he can actually pitch and has the elite stuff. Also, since we're here, Aroldis Chapman in the 7th inning threw 5 pitches that were at least 103 miles an hour. He threw a 104-mile-an-hour sinker.
Did you just see it on the I know you're probably watching our screen, but they just showed it over here in the studio on the other TV. My God, that thing moved.
The man's 36 years old.
It felt like 7 inches.
He's 36 years old, right?
Yeah.
You see the knuckleball that was on the pitching ninja the other day?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell, dude? Pitching is getting I don't. How much farther can you push the human body when it comes to pitching? We have to be reaching the upper limits of evolution.
And that's why, it's always going to be disrespectful. So there's no way for me to say this and for it not to. But Babe Ruth and those guys back then, they were great for their time, and they could hit the pitchers of their time. It's hard for me to when we start talking about the greatest of all time. There's this generation of hitters, and if they keep doing what they're doing against 104, 103, just consistent, 104-mile-per-hour sinker. No, disrespect to the Babe. I don't think he saw that.
Well, okay, but I'm always of the opinion here that what would happen if the Babe grew up in an era where, this era, where he had the scientific analytical breakdowns on how to train your swing. He learned that smoking 2 cigars and eating 3 steaks a day was actually not the most healthy thing for a professional athlete to do. I definitely, if you were to just pick Babe up out of time and place him here. It would be fascinating to see what he could do. But I think, with those greats, I'm kind of always a believer that if they came up in this era, that they would still find their way. Maybe not to be as great.
So you think the hitters
still be really
of
damn
that
good.
day would have a better chance if they had the technology? Because what about the pitchers of that time?
Same thing.
They're throwing back in the early 90s, T, is if you were throwing 94.
Yeah.
You were a flamethrower. And now you got kids coming out of college bullpens. We saw it in the Chapel Hill region. Everybody that came out of the pen was throwing 94.
Well, it seems like everybody on a major top 10 school throws 95 or 94, and then it's can you control it?
Yeah.
No, I think I'm always when it comes to comparing eras in sports talk or even anything else, I am a firm believer in kind of how are you relative to your peers, to the other people that have been given the same set of circumstances to work with. It's I call Paul Morphy the best chess player of all time, the guy from the 1860s out of New Orleans.
We've all said it.
And obviously he couldn't hold the candle to today's players. I mean, with what they've used with chessins and everything. And Magnus Carlsen is easily probably, the actual best of all time. But even Magnus wasn't so separated from his peers as was Morphy. Yeah. He was playing the best players in the world at odds, giving them odds and still beating them. He quit playing because he couldn't find anybody to challenge him, basically. So, yeah, I'm a firm believer that it's all about how you relate to the others at your time.
Yeah, I was probably born about 20 years too late.
Yeah.
Maybe 15.
Yeah, you're one of the rare instances where you would have done better with less technology.
Yeah.
Go.
There's more meathead.
Yeah, put you back in the Franco Harris days and whatnot. Some
Larry
70s,
Zonka.
Larry Zonka. Some good
Maybe
70s NFL football. Jake would have been an animal.
Yeah, maybe I could have gotten to the 80s a Tom Rathman, Moose Johnson, maybe up in the early 90s, maybe. But yeah, I think the late 70s would have been my jam.
I agree. All right, win. I wish I was born later so I could have made NIL money. That'd have been tight. For sure.
That also would have been fun.
All right, coming up next, let's get into the NFC South. Win, loss, over-unders. I actually think there's a bit of value on the Saints here. Am I pumping, son? Maybe. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Then shake your head, Taylor. You just figure out if the Cowboys can totally win a championship. Like Steven said, they totally can because he totally believes in Dak. Because anytime somebody says totally, they're definitely being 100% sincere. That's why I will not say totally when I tell you to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge because I am being sincere, okay? You go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge today, and you can get a brand new vehicle at a great deal, a plethora of different vehicles, whether it's a sedan, big truck, small truck, red truck, blue truck, minivan. I love my new Toyota Sienna. I think it's a 23 at this point, but it's that hybrid, man. I save so much on gas. It's got a beautiful, quiet startup. It really is just fantastic. So, your one-stop vehicular shop. You want to go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go there today for your new vehicles, your leases, and certainly your rentals. It is summer vacation time, so make sure you go ahead and reserve that vehicle, whatever it is, bigger, smaller, better on gas, whatever. They've got you covered. AllStarToyota of BatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson from Saints OTAs. Joe Healy putting a bow on the LSU baseball season. And the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Laundry, if you can keep this vibe going the entire show and not get distracted by some tight jean country wannabe F-boy, we're going to have a good day.
See, why's it got to be tight jean, though? Ain't nothing wrong with, like, some good old...
I'm just thinking...
you wear tight pants.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this Brandon Walker video. He was at some concert, and he tweeted out, and I was like... I just thought, like, damn, he must work out. Had a big Lloyd Christmas moment, because that booty was popping in them things.
Are you going to... And I know you want to get to the win totals, but...
I don't really care.
Okay, great.
We can do anything.
So, media days are in Dallas this year.
Yeah.
So, last year... You did a really nice job of leaning into the destination.
Yeah, I was thinking, do I need to just get another cowboy hat?
So I don't think cowboy hat's enough. Like, you're not going to Nashville. Like, you're going to the state of Texas.
So what should I get? Like an overinflated ego?
No.
Maybe I should pick up an unwarranted sense of pride and an annoying desire to tell everybody how good my state is and how much better we are than you.
Well, I mean, a lot of those things are, you know.
Maybe I should buy like a big truck to make up for having small genitals. I'm just trying to be like Dallas, dude.
You got to get the.
I will say, yeah, Dallas isn't maybe the best representative of Texas, maybe, but I want you to buy. Like, I want you to wear jeans, boots, a big belt buckle that has an H on it for Hebert, a pearl snap, and a cowboy hat.
No, I'm leaning into the real Dallas. I'm going Mexican Dallas. Alondra, I need you to dress me. What would I wear if I was going to go full Mexican Dallas?
Okay, so there's like different Mexican Dallases, right?
Okay.
So are we going cowboy fan Mexican?
I mean, that's kind of where my head went, but I would rather not walk around in jean shorts and an 88.
I was going to say, you're going to need some jorts. You're going to need some jorts that go below the knee.
Yeah.
A Des Bryant jersey.
I felt that so. Or Michael Irvin, depending.
Yeah.
Or any of the 88s. Any of the 88s.
Y'all don't understand. Like, when you said 88, that's exactly what I had in my mind.
You're going to need a fade that's more faded than that.
Yeah, that's kind of a fake fade. But
I'm not doing that. I'm not cutting my hair again. Well, what other type of Dallas Mexicans do I have?
Well, because then you just got your typical Tex-Mex.
Give me a typical Tex-Mex.
And then you got your bougie, like,
No. Give me a typical Tex-Mex. I want a blue-collar Tex-Mex
I mean,
outfit.
it's pretty similar to a
jean shorts again.
No. It's pretty similar to like a cowboy outfit.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah.
Okay, so now I'm getting back to just dressing like a cowboy.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do any of it. I hate Dallas. I'm just kidding. I've never really been to Dallas. We'll see if I like it or not.
I like Dallas.
And I'm intrigued
Do
to
you
see
know
if I do.
where in Dallas? Like, is it Fort Worth? Is it Dallas, or is it Arlington? Like, do you know where y'all are going?
I got no
it's
idea.
It's at the Omni, and I think it's Dallas.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's downtown.
Yeah.
I think.
True or false?
You'll like it.
Hold the Mayo says Jacob got that shirt at the Gulfport Nike Outlet Mall, and he said he knows it was 50% off. True or false? Was that at the Tanger outlets?
No, I don't shop at the outlet malls.
Damn. Why y'all
it's
go down
actually-
to Florida?
It's actually might be from like my Nike contract days.
Oh, let's go, dude.
This might be that old, Dev. Dev, hold up now. Are we just throwing strays?
Come on, it's just a little.
I mean,
just a
throwing a
just a
stray
little touch.
at walk-ons, which I'm a big part of, and now
Just
he's
a little
throwing
touch.
strays at my shirt.
What happened at Walk-On?
I thought we were boys, man.
I did. I
need a
did.
Walk-On
What,
story.
so what happened at Walk-Ons? Because
I
I
don't
saw
know.
the beginning of RB&R Day, but I got distracted in the middle of it and I didn't finish the video.
I don't know. I just there was a tweet.
Should we get Dev on the phone?
We could text him see if he can come
I
on.
don't know. I mean, with him throwing strays like this, I just thought we were better.
But look, there's nothing
That's
wrong
fair.
with shopping at the Gulfport outlet shops. Who hasn't?
I
Let
haven't.
he
I've
who has
never
not
been to
taken
the
advantage of an
Gulfport.
outlet store cast the first stone.
I don't think I've ever been to Gulfport.
Well, I'm more thinking just outlets. One outlet is another.
Yeah, I'm an outlet girl.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, Tanger outlet's
See, I
Tanger
ne-
outlet.
Yeah.
I never had success at an
I
outlet
love a
mall
discount.
because they never had my size. Like extra large is always the first one that's gone. So I never had a lot of
That's kinda
success
true.
there, Like
That's
it was
kinda
always like you're gonna get an extra small or a triple X. And there wasn't gonna be really an in between there. I've never been to Gulfport. I've driven by it 1,000 times, but never, gone
Where
in and
is
gotten anything.
Gulfport?
Like
It's a really stupid
Mississippi.
question,
right
but
next to Biloxi.
okay.
Yeah.
Never been.
Because you're not, you're
Yeah.
from Texas. And so
I
you
don't go that
far.
way.
Yeah,
No.
right.
It's like an hour 45 from here. It's not far.
No.
Hey,
Very popular.
If you want to feel better, younger, stronger, faster, check out Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore Me, Refuel Me, Rejuve Me. They got locations in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, now Monroe as well. Look, you go into Rejuve Me, you get a free professional estimate, free consultation. Too many commercials. In which they draw your labs, right? And your body is the guide. Your body's like, well, you're deficient here, you're strong here, and they customize a plan based off of that. So maybe HRTs for me, but not for Jake. Maybe some glutides for me, but not for Taylor. Like, you get the point, right? It is a plan that is ultimately customized to you, and they have a ton of different treatment options. The main thing you need to understand is that they fight the effects of untreated aging, so like mood and memory problems, insomnia, lack of energy, all of this, and they help you reach your full potential regardless of your gender, regardless of your age. So rejuvenate that youthful, energetic feeling by going to Rejuve Me Medical or RejuveMeMedical.com. So the NFC South win totals have been released. We'll use the DraftKings number for today because the article that we read on CBS used DraftKings numbers, but I'm sure all the books have similar numbers here, Jake. And the New Orleans Saints check in at third on the list, a 7.5 win total for the Saints. But before we get there, let's go through the other teams and see if we believe or not. The Falcons leading the way at 9.5. Of course, they got Kirk James. Great skill positions, or in theory, they have great skill players. They added some skill in the offseason as well. They get the new coach bump in Raheem Morris, I think, a little bit, right? Where it's like, it seems like he's kind of got the locker room behind him. He's young, well, not as young as he was when he was a head coach, but, it's his second, he's still relatively young. It's his second opportunity here. 9.5 does feel a bit presumptuous. I mean, 10 wins. Are they Falcons? Are the Atlanta Falcons a 10-win team?
Well, so it's tough because of everything you said, and you start to think about, okay, what's the roster look like? And I think that an average fan would be surprised with how much potential star power they have with the Falcons. Like, you're all fans, like Drake London. He's not there yet, but he could be, right? We've talked about Bijan Robinson. He's not there yet, but he could be. Kirk Cousins does solidify a lot of things.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts hasn't been there, but he can be. So there's a lot of potential there. So
Cousins
I can understand.
should unlock those guys.
That's what your hope is that not for us here doing this show, but if you're a Falcons fan. And then you get Darnell Mooney to come over to be a nice, secondary weapon. You trade for Rondale Moore from Arizona to come over to give you another weapon. So, like, on paper, they have the ability to go out there and be a really good team, certainly on offense. But can Kirk Cousins get the most out of these weapons? Like, you misused Bijan Robinson about as bad as you could last year.
Yeah.
He would have flashes and then it would go away. And that's a player that you drafted in the top 10 at a position that doesn't get drafted in the top 10 because you got to be that kind of a player. And we all assumed that he was going to be, and you didn't allow him to go out there and show it. And then,
why don't you think Bijan Robinson got touches?
Arthur Smith's not a great coach.
I mean, is it that simple? Like,
I think he just wanted to use the bigger back, and
did Bijan not know what to do? Were there MAs?
You never know. I mean, it's a great point when you're not in the meeting room.
I just can't fathom that an NFL head coach could be like, I don't think this guy needs. I don't think this is our best path to winning.
You'd be surprised sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I mean, not often. Like, would you think that a top 10 pick? But like sometimes coaches they try to be the smartest guy in the room, and they try to well, this top 10 pick, he's going to have to earn his way into this offense, or he's going to have to show me he can do this, instead of just allowing that player to go out there and do it. Like, sometimes coaches leave the governor on the player so long and they don't take it off in time, and then that player never gets to their full potential. I'm not saying the player doesn't have some fault in it sometimes. Maybe it is missed assignments. Maybe it's pass protection issues. And we drafted a running back in San Diego in the first round, and he was more talented than anybody in our room, but he didn't get on the field as much as he should have because pass protection, missed assignments, wasn't confident in the plays that he actually did know what to do, still wasn't confident enough, so he was a step behind. And so it turned into a situation where it was me and Mike Tolbert, and I was in front of him playing fullback, and he was 20 pounds heavier than me, but that gave us the best chance at that time to win because Mike knew exactly what to do. He was talented enough to do those things. And sometimes you wait too long, and then you don't put enough on that rookie's plate, and you don't challenge him enough to go out there and be the guy, because you're like, look, we got to win now. And I get that mentality too. I don't know if that's the case with Bijan Robinson, but I know he's incredibly talented, and I know that you didn't use him near enough a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be the year that will answer that question, right? Like if they empower him and he balls out, well then yes, it was Arthur Smith. If for some reason in the new regime he's still not getting the touches, well then Bijan's got to look in the mirror a little bit. Okay, final answer before we go to break, and we'll continue this on the other side. Over under Falcons 9.5. Final answer, I'm gonna go under. 10 feels a little much. This is without looking at the schedule.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under because I feel like 9's a sweet spot for him.
Yeah.
9 just feels like the right number. If it went over 9.5, though, I know some people would be surprised by that. I would not. I mean, they were 7-10 last year with bad quarterback play.
Yeah,
is
that's
Kirk
true.
Cousins worth
That's true.
3 wins?
That's true. Probably. I mean, it feels like he should be. Certainly with the contract. But we'll and then the Cousins health thing, is relevant as well. How good are you going to feel coming off an Achilles? Tay, before we get a break, over under.
Under. A lot of potential. Too many question marks for me, though.
Alondra, do you care to answer?
Under.
Okay. Coming up next, we'll bring you up Bucks very quickly. Then we'll get to your New Orleans Saints. Keep it locked. Off the bench.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to ColemanRoof.com. ColemanRoof.com. And when you're talking about Coleman Roofing and construction, you probably see the trucks rolling all around town. You are talking about the most complete, the most reliable, and the most respected roofing company in all of Louisiana. And, well, if you want to figure out the reliable and respected part, you can go look at the reviews, look at the online testimonials from their satisfied customers. If you've worked with Coleman in the past, and you already know what I'm talking about, because they put so much effort into making sure that the job is done quickly, efficiently, and correctly, and making sure that you are satisfied. They leave no stone unturned when it comes to you and your job. Talk about complete. It's any size job, commercial, residential, anywhere in the Gulf South region, and it's the construction portion as well. Coleman Roof.
It is truly the one-stop shop like T-Bob talks about. Go to the website today to find that contact information in your area. It's right there, top right of the website, ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. Another day, another LSU Tiger has entered the portal. We'll update the baseball roster for you and some updated NFL win totals. What do they think about the Saints? Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Let's dive right back into their conversation. So Falcons at 9.5. I don't love that we all said under. Kind of makes me feel like maybe it's going to be over, but whatever. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Taylor, coming in next on the list at 8.5. And I got to say, my initial instinct here was, oh, Baker's going to take a step back, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, well, actually, hold on. You got Liam Cohen to replace Dave Canales, and Liam Cohen and Baker worked together before, and I think Cohen's good. You're running it back with some additions, which I think like Kirk is having to work into a new situation, new head coach. Like you said, a lot of potential, but a lot of question marks there. A lot more known quantities with this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. I kind of like the over on Tampa's 8.5 here.
I don't hate that. It just feels like the most 9-win conference in the NFL.
I know.
Every team outside of the Panthers feels like 9 wins.
I know.
Like you're counting on Baker, obviously, to be able to replicate what he did a year ago. And that's going to be the biggest question mark. And look, there's a lot of question marks when it comes to the quarterback position in this division because, Kirk coming off the injury, the whole Michael Penix situation, Derek Carr has more issues than Vogue. And then, can Baker Mayfield, can he replicate? Is he good Baker? Is he okay Baker? Is he bad Baker? Which version are you going to get? I mean, because again, they've got nice weapons. They've got receivers. They've got a great offensive line. They've got a tight end that will win you money if he scores the second touchdown of a game that you bet on. Like, they've got all those things, you know?
I think the one thing for me that made me go over here is last year they were 4-4 in one-score games. I thought maybe last year's record was juiced up by just winning a lot of close ones and that you'd have a comeback to earth. But I'm like, okay, no, like they were exactly mathematically where you're supposed to be. So it doesn't seem like last year was a very fluky or a lot of luck. And so in that vein, I'll give them the over. Taylor, where are you at?
I kind of think 8.5. This is my favorite.
Well, the number's 8.5, dummy.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think this is like we were talking. Is 9.5 too high for the Falcons? I think this is the best over/under.
Oh, to be clear, I don't think 9.5 is too high for the Falcons either. I think we're all feeling pretty fat and cocky. Everybody going under, but anyway.
To your point, though, you're talking about the one-score games. They had a lot of injuries in their secondary. I mean, I think going into the playoffs, 2 backup cornerbacks were starting. They're healthier. They re-sign Antoine Winfield, who might be the best safety in the NFL. Like, that dude's phenomenal. Yeah. And then, you lose Dave Canales, who was awesome with Baker. But Baker and Liam Cohen were together with the Rams, and he had to come in and learn that system on the fly and actually played pretty well with the Rams, all things considered.
It's crazy, that Thursday night game.
Yeah, he was on the team for like 5 minutes. So
he signed Monday, started Thursday.
Yeah, him and Cohen have some familiarity together. Mike Evans is back. Rashad White was a lot better at the end of the year running the ball than at the beginning.
They drafted Bucky Irving, too.
They drafted Bucky Irving, who's apparently pushing for playing time. They drafted an O-lineman in the first round, which is probably their weakness on offense.
Yeah,
okay, hold on. We got to get the Saints. Just give me an answer on the Bucs. Over, under 8.5.
I'm going to go over.
Okay. Alondra?
Yeah, over.
So we all are over?
Under.
I don't know.
No, I just, I kind of agree with Jake where it feels like 9 is the sweet spot.
For this division.
Yeah.
So the Saints are at 7.5. What do you think about the Saints? I'm actually feeling more and more bullish about this Saints team. I absolutely believe that it will all go as the offensive line goes, and I understand that given everything that we know right now, the offensive line should be bad, but I just can't help but wonder in a more modern system with Kubiak at the helm, John Benton, a new O-line coach, kind of a fresh face where obviously Doug Marrone just wasn't connecting for whatever reason, even though he's a very good coach in his own right. I just wonder if that group isn't due for a rubber banding back to being average, even not to being great. And if you look at what they did last year, even being way below average, well, if you can be average, then I think you're going to hit 8 wins. So, yeah, I think there's actual value here. I would place a bet for the Saints to go over the 7.5, and it all comes down to that offensive line, Derek Carr and Kubiak, and how it all gels together.
Their defense is a 10-win defense. Their offense is a 7-win offense.
Their defense might be an 11-win defense. I mean, that's a damn good defense.
Because Fuag is the only thing that you added to your offense.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to be the same. Same receivers. It's going to be offensive linemen that were here maybe in different positions. Juwan Johnson. It's going to be Derek Carr. It's going to be Kamara.
And I hate
brought
to
in
be
another
that
fullback
guy,
just to point
but
that out.
the last 6 games, that crew was operating well together.
It was operating better than it was for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, the last 6 games, they were statistically one of the better offenses in the entire, and if they were a top 10 offense over the last 6 weeks. For whatever that's worth, was it a flash in the pan, fluky? Maybe so, but they were. Can that continue?
But this defense gives you hope, and that's what gives you the real desire to want to go over 7.5, because you start looking at the pieces that they had from a year ago, and they're still playing at an incredibly high level. I like bringing in Willie Gay from Kansas City. He gives you a physical toughness right there to go with DeMario Davis. When Pete Warner does maybe get injured because of his style of play, he has no respect for his body, which I appreciate, but he's going to miss games, and you got a Willie Gay that you can bring in. We talked about the defensive backfield, how creative you can get now that you drafted Kool-Aid to be that guy that can maybe play inside at nickel. Maybe he can play in the back ends. He can do a lot of different things for you. Jordan Howden, I think, is going to be a first and second down type of guy. We'll see what they do with him on third down. But Alontae Taylor, all these weapons that you have in the defensive backfield, that gives you hope that this defense can even go up, I think, another level. Bringing everybody back. Brian Brzee, what can you get from him in your number 2? A guy we never talk about and was great as a rookie.
Chase Young? If Chase
Young's
healthy?
a question mark. Peyton Turner's the biggest because like you've gotten literally nothing from him,
Peyton
and
Turner,
you're not
though,
counting on him at all. But if you could get 3 sacks from Peyton Turner,
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing about Peyton Turner is that you were a top 10 defense last year without him.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. Like, he's a lanyap guy at this moment. If he can give you anything, great, good, grand, wonderful. But I mean, no, look, and then you got DeMario Davis, too. You have one of the best linebackers.
who played as high as he's played in his career last year.
That's
Like
what
he
I'm
doesn't
saying.
age.
Age does not touch him. He's an incredible leader. Intangibles off the chart. You still have the leadership of Cam Jordan as well. Yeah, 7.5 feels low, man. 7.5 feels low, even with DA at the helm. Am I sunshine pumping? Let me know. Okay, 30 seconds. Carolina 5.5. I'm thinking I'm going under. So I think at the end of the day, I'm under Falcons, over Bucs Saints, under Panthers. Do the Panthers hit 6 wins?
They're so bad. No.
Anybody think they hit 6 wins?
Nope.
Okay, there we go. There it is. Your NFC South win totals. Look, I would say I think the Saints get 8 at least. But I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm infected with the weekend or summer, but I've been feeling more and more positive about the Saints lately.
We can maybe hit the Panthers at some point. They've tried the Hail Mary of bringing in a lot of solid vets, not superstars, but solid vets, and will it be enough to pair with the people that were there from a year ago?
Okay, we can revisit later in the show. Coming up next, we got new BRCC head basketball coach Brandon Schmidt stopping by for a couple minutes. Keep locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings. KTOZblinds.com. KTOZblinds.com. You need window coverings that, wow, you want to get with your friends over there at K to Z. It's, look, you need a heart over here. There we go. Oh, don't forget, if you're building a new house too, it doesn't have to be the house you're already in. If you're building a new house, don't forget about the drapery and blinds. You call K2C today. They're going to get a plan to cover your new windows and keep the sun where you want it. That's right. Put the sun in its place. It's pretty interesting, Jake. When it comes to choosing between wood blinds and shutters over faux wood, wood is actually half the weight of faux wood. It's easier to clean than faux wood, and wood is a better insulator. And the price point's about the same, and you get a better quality product. See, this is the type of information they're going to learn when you work with K2Z. This is how you maximize your home's potential. So whether it's window treatments, honeycomb shades, it's all there at K2Z, KTOZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, Our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank.
Charles Hanniger joined me and Jimmy out for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at the original walk-ons, Burbank and Nicholson. Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci join us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, youtube.com/1045ESPN, now on WBTR Channel 19 as well. If you ever want to watch us on television, you've had to learn to stop flipping off the cameras because we can't do that anymore now that we're on TV. Grown up over here. Right now, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome in the BRCC Bears' new head baseball coach, Brandon Schmidt. Brandon, what's going on, Coach? How you doing today, man?
What's up, fellas? How are y'all?
We're doing well, man. So you're coming over from Hendrix College. You're a pitcher by trade. You've had a lot of success in developing pitchers as Hendrix as well. How did this come about with the Bears? How'd this all come together?
Man, been pretty excited about this opportunity the last couple weeks. I'm pretty excited that everything's now official. So over the past couple of weeks, honestly, got to work with Mark Swear, of course, the softball coach there at BRCC back at his time, his 1 year stint at Hendrix. And, man, he let me know the information, the job was going to be posted. And I think that the two of us can agree that there's no better time than right now to be in Louisiana when it comes to college baseball. So came open, and, man, I'm pretty excited to get down there and get to work.
Coach, when T-Bob and I were playing college football, like junior college was a big part of it. You would get one or two guys every single year. That's how you got a veteran guy before the transfer portal. Now that we do have a portal, but you still see junior college, community college baseball players, that still be a path for them. Has that changed a lot, or is it kind of similar that it's been before maybe the transfer portal?
Man, I think it's going to be a pretty good mix going forward. I think that you look at the in-state schools for sure. There's probably an average of 7 junior college kids per Division I of the in-state Louisiana kids. So you look at that and you kind of assume that, man, that's going to be a pretty easy push forward of the junior college to 4-year. But I think there's going to be some kind of trends over the next couple of years of junior college being a mainstay when it comes to 4 years. And then the transfer portal is going to have to get something figured out, man. 4,000 kids right now in it. That's a tough situation. So as far as we go, man, we're going to go get some high school kids. We're going to get a couple kickbacks, but we're going to go into develop. I think that's something that over the last 7 years being at Hendrix, finding a system that works to really develop freshmen and sophomores. And being at a 4-year, of course, you get to work with the juniors and seniors, but I'm pretty excited to see the development we're going to be able to make over the next couple of years of getting freshmen in and developing them into hopefully being some big-time namesakes in the state.
Yeah, so that's going to ask. I wanted to kind of question you about the vision, right? How do you find success at a BRCC where you don't have like the unlimited resource, something like an LSU? Coming over from Arkansas, Louisiana is a very talent-rich state. Is that kind of the base of the blueprint there to build the foundation through Louisiana high school players?
Man, the bones are already there. That's the part that was really exciting about this job was, you look at Louisiana high school baseball currently right now, the talent level all throughout, man, it's legit. You don't have the ups and downs. You don't have the very, very okay low A schools. Man, it's a really, really good talent pool. So we're going to continue off of where Seminole is at with recruiting the in-state guys. But I think you're gonna see a little bit of an addition to Houston and Dallas area with some of the connections that I've built through there. Man, I just think that the region, the area that it's been such a good area. I think it's going to be able to produce a lot of recruits from all over. But man, you talk about BRCC as a whole, with what Brock is doing over there. I think both of us have a pretty good vision of what the next couple of years is looking like.
Yeah, man. Look, Brock's gone all in on bringing excitement to the Bears and to the athletic programs. And, yeah, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, Coach. You got summer, fall, and then we'll see what it's all about next spring. But thank you so much for coming on and coming on this morning.
Fellas, I appreciate you guys for having me on. I'm looking forward to it, and go Bears.
Hell yeah, dude. Go Bears.
Appreciate it, Coach.
BRCC head baseball coach Brandon Schmidt. They should do what Caleb Williams has all the Chicago Bears fans doing. The claw. Why are you rolling your eyes again, Taylor?
Just, I love Caleb Williams stories.
The claw is cool. You don't think the claw is cool?
No.
You don't think the claw is cool?
We
go to a school that throws up the L, and you don't think the claw is cool?
Claw's not cool. No.
I think human beings love having a gesture to connect with one another. It's like a secret handshake. It's like an Illuminati kind of head nod to one another. Double claw, lame. One claw, pretty cool.
I don't hate the claw.
Yeah, the claw's great. Taylor.
Trying to think some different hand signals that you can.
What, for the bolts?
Oh, bolts, maybe like a hang loose kind of situation.
Like a double hang loose?
Yeah.
Maybe that kind of looks like a bolt a little bit.
I think so.
Maybe it would have worked when you were in San Diego. I guess LA's not. Yeah, I don't know.
They're not really in LA, kind of.
I don't know where they are, to be fair.
Yeah, you probably don't know where LA's at.
Bet Arena kicking off hour number 2. Coming up next, TV Locked OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com. All your AC, heating, and electrical needs. You want to go to Accutemp, where you're going to get service to the highest degree. Get it? Do you? Service to the highest degree.
What about the lowest degree?
It's an AC and heating company.
We need the AC.
We don't want to say that, but they will get your AC to the lowest degree that you want it to be. Absolutely.
That thing was on 68 yesterday, too. It was hot. It was muggy.
Yeah. 68's tough for me now in my older age.
Oh, my God.
It's a little too cold. I'm a 70 boy now. I was 68 for years. Maybe 68 at night.
It's all that weight you lost.
Can't do 68 during the day. I think as you get older, you become less callous to the I feel like, I don't know, I just get softer as I get older. No, it doesn't.
BR.com.
AccutempBR.com.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, June 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 90 in hour 2 of today's show. LSU softball coach Beth Torina hops on at 8 o'clock. We'll talk some LSU football and SEC transfers and maybe some baseball mixed in there as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo! What's up, y'all? Thursday! That's right, weekend's almost here. We're very excited. I'm also very excited because for the first time in a couple of weeks, we are getting to catch up with one of our favorites, put a bow on this wonderful softball season. Of course, I'm talking about head softball coach Beth Torina. Coach Torina, what's going on? How are we doing? As the calendar slowed down at all over the past few days?
Oh my gosh, I'm like near nervous breakdown mode this morning with all the things going on.
Yeah, okay, great.
You'd think it would be
not at all.
You'd think it would be slowed down, but I mean, we're now doing transfer visits and camps and off-campus recruiting, and I don't know, there's no end in sight here. I think I'm more busy this week than I was when we were, at Stanford just doing our thing.
Has that always been the case at this time of the year once the season kind of finishes up, or because of the new calendar and bringing transfers in and you lose a very talented senior class, does it ramp up year by year now with all the changes?
It does. I think it's a little more now. I mean, the transfer portal is just so much more of a factor now than it used to be.
Yeah.
So, we didn't used to have to bring the people on campus and do the visits and things like that this time of year. It was more just our camps and off-campus recruiting, and that felt more manageable. So,
yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how y'all do it. It's yeah, I don't know. The coach's life is an unforgiving one, but y'all are sick in the head and y'all are addicted to winning and competition, and so I guess that's how you find the joy in it. But when you look at
if you want to drop my kids at any camps or anything though over the next couple of weeks, just join the carpool or even create a camp. Maybe there's a radio station.
I mean,
there you go.
Camp.
Look, I've already trying to find camps to ship my kids off, and I'm not even having to sit here and recruit 24/7 and talk to boosters and talk to transfer portal kids and try to keep my own roster from transferring. It is. I don't know how y'all do it again. But before I do have some kind of big picture softball question I want to get to you, Coach. But before we get there, obviously in Stanford, a bit heartbreaking in how things played out. What is your, now that you've had some time to kind of digest it, how are you feeling about this season?
Well, I'm proud of the season. I'm proud of the seniors. I'm proud of this program, and just that we have a lot of just really strong women that have grown through this program. So I'm proud of all those things. Did we want one more game? Without a doubt, we did.
Yeah.
And I think we all felt like we had her on the ropes. We had a really tough draw. We're playing the National Player of the Year, who, if she has a good day, is going to be tough to beat, right? But I felt like we had her on the ropes. If we could have just scored on the sack fly, I felt like she was not, herself in that moment. She was really starting to struggle, and I felt like if we could have scored that run, the tables could have completely turned. So I think we all are in the what ifs and the could have been a lot with that game.
Yeah.
But I think we're all still proud of the season that we put together.
Very solid season. Yeah, Coach. With the schedule y'all played, the RPI where it finished, and all those things that we talked about throughout the year, and going back to the roster management portion of this, what is maybe the way that you get with your assistants, or how would you go about trying to construct next year's roster? Is there a certain process that you use every year, Coach, or is it going to be different depending on who you lose? Because you're right, y'all are going to recruit at high school, obviously, but the portal being such a key piece in what you do, how long is maybe that process to figure out exactly what you want on this team for next year?
Well, we've talked about it, you and I, before, especially just about the portal and how, we haven't really been huge in it in the past. We've used it to fill our voids and fill some deficits, but we feel like we have some opportunity this year just with our graduating class and, with all of the things that we have lost, to just bring in some competition. We love the players that we have. We think we have some really, really special young players. We love this 24 signing class that includes the number one player in the country. I think also, top 5 middle infielder and hitter in the class too. So we love the class, but I think just to add a few pieces to make it competitive every day and just to make the toughest competition right there on Tiger Park every afternoon at 2:00.
Never forget, there's not a better place to go take in a game than Tiger Park. The Berm's undefeated, family, friends, it's the best time. And you mentioned to remain competitive, and it's insane, Coach, because right now we are watching technically maybe I guess it's an all Big 12, but really it's an all SEC final. Texas and Oklahoma, these teams going to be joining up. Oklahoma looking really good last night. Now sitting there on the edge of a 4-peat. And me and Jake were talking about this off air. In this age of softball, where there's so much talent, so much investment, so much parity, from your perspective, where should we rank something like a 4-peat, right? Is that the most impressive thing that is happening maybe in all of college sports right now?
It probably is. It probably is. What she has done there, Patty Gasso, is just incredible. And I think she has really just, it's the senior class that they have, that have an opportunity to win all 4 times in their career. I think they've just got some really special players that understand how to compete. And I think, I remember, y'all probably know, when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay and they said, it only took one man to inspire the whole group to make a change. I think kind of similar. It's a couple of those women in that program are just so competitive that they're seniors. I think they really helped propel this thing for the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's just, and this year they lost 6 games, and everybody's like, oh, they only lost 8 in the 3 years combined. They lost 6 games. There's no way they're gonna win it again. It's y'all realize only losing 6 games is really damn good, right?
It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. But and look, now as someone who has to directly compete with that, Coach, how do you approach that mentally?
I think the SEC has been a grind. Last time we checked, we were the number 1 strength of schedule. Last time we looked at it this year, we played the number 1 strength of schedule. So I think the way our team put together, 40 plus wins, the number 1 strength of schedule. I think we've just got to continue to take into consideration their confidence level as we're going through the SEC. As we're going weekend to weekend to weekend, there's no, we're not going to get somebody's number 3 or off pitcher or those things. We're going to get an All-American, maybe 2 every weekend. And we've got to be, conscious of what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it's every single weekend. There is no bottom tier of this league. It is everybody in, everybody good. So I think that's going to be just something we need to take into consideration moving forward.
Coach, do you know yet how that's going to change scheduling in the SEC, adding 2 teams? So you'll be up to 15 from 13. As we know, Vanderbilt doesn't have a softball team. Actually, their AD said, we don't have a place to put a field right now, so we can't even think about that. So we know we're going to be at 15 for a while. Does that change y'all's scheduling model?
No, we're still at 8, so we still play 8 conference series, and it now just becomes a bigger rotation, so it's a 7-year rotation. So I think the thing to keep in mind, too, and we had this already this year, is like everybody's strength of schedule, even within the league, is going to look very different. You know, like you're going to get an easier hand, a middle hand, a tough hand. And everybody's good, but it's still going to be, our champion is going to be, it's still going to be really cool. It's going to be tougher than winning the College World Series to win the SEC, in my opinion, but it's also going to be a product of the schedule that you're dealt.
Well, if I know one thing about you and this LSU team is that it doesn't matter what cards you're dealt, y'all are going to battle through it and fight through it. It was a great year this year. I know it didn't end the way that you wanted, but it never does for anybody, right? Except for one. And all you can hope is that one day you find yourself in that position. Thank you so much, Coach, for coming on every single week here throughout the season, no matter what. And I would say enjoy the offseason, but it doesn't sound like it feels like much of an offseason. So just try to enjoy life. Yes, thank you so much for coming on all year.
Thank you. And thank you for supporting us all year long. Y'all are the best. We just appreciate you more than you could ever know. And just one final shout out to our senior class. Like, what a special group. I would coach them for another 10 years if I could. They have done everything right in this community. I hope everybody appreciates what they've truly brought, not just to LSU softball, but to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and LSU. So thank you guys. You guys are the best. We will see you next year. Super hopeful. Can't wait to get started.
Hell yes.
Thanks,
Coach Beth Torina, LSU head softball coach. You're right. We should highlight this senior class. I mean, the incredible, what was it, 26-0 start, 24-0, somewhere around there. Ran into some adversity during the SEC, but found a way to fight. Saved 500, barely missed out on a national seed. In fact, I think they got pretty screwed seeding-wise.
They were one away.
Yeah, and then
top 8,
even after winning their regional in such a dominant fashion, have to go to Stanford. Like, I understand why Coach Torina was so miffed on all that, but still, a really great year for LSU softball, and I believe in Coach Torina going forward as the leader of this program, even though it's only going to get harder and harder from here on out.
I definitely remember hearing they were having success on the recruiting trail. I didn't know they were having this kind of success. They've got the number 1 player in the country, a middle infielder. They've got the number 4 player in the country, a pitcher, number 37 player in the country, third baseman. So they're losing some talent without question, and you never know how freshmen are going to work out, but you're bringing in 3 top 37 players all at different positions to this squad.
Damn. There we go. There we go. Shout out Coach Torina. I mean, the grind never ends, man. It's so crazy. It's kind of like whenever it's football season for us, it is simultaneously kind of more busy but less busy because you're in such a routine that you're not going anywhere. And then so in the off season, you try to fit like a year worth of activities into like 6 months. So you're gone every weekend and you're all over the place. I don't know how these coaches do it, man. Do not know. All right. When we get back. I'm trying to think about what we're going to do when we get back.
Yeah, I was just waiting. You had me on the edge of the seat.
I wish I could have fulfilled that edge of the seat entertainment. Oh, here we go. Okay, yes. We know now where LSU wants to put the new basketball arena. Or at least we know where they are really interested in putting it in. We'll discuss it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gore done. Done. Get it Gore done. Because you get Gordon, you get it done.
Yeah.
Go to getgordon.com and you go fill out the free consult form right there, send it in, they'll get in touch with you immediately. Or you just pick up the phone, call 225-888-8888 when you get in the accident and you need somebody who's going to stand up for you and get you what you deserve. If you go to the website, you can see a ton of satisfied customers, testimonials, Also follow on social media at Get Gordon, where you see a lot of great content with your favorite athletes, members of the G Team. Get Gordon, get it done today.
Go to the website, and you can do a lot of different things. Ask a question. You can check out cases they can handle for you, past client results. Like all that is right at your fingertips. You can go to all major social media at Get Gordon as well. Hold on. Tiny Hands has something to say.
I have a good commercial idea.
Oh, God.
What in Power Rangers, wasn't the big floating head called Zordon? Gordon, but it's Gordon's head floating.
That's actually
You're welcome, guys. Okay, Get Gordon, get it done. You're welcome, Gordon Agency.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson from Saints OTAs. Joe Healy putting a bow on the LSU baseball season. And the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Years ago today, 150,000 Allied troops landed on various beaches, the coast of France, in order to battle the great evil of our time, to rip into and tear away an extremely entrenched enemy, and find a way to kind of start the righting of the world. The greatest generation, 80 years ago today, man. It's wild, D-Day. The most logistically awe-inspiring thing I can think of. I mean, really, any time you talk about anything World War II, just the logistics of it all, it's overwhelming. But especially this singular attack in which there were so, I mean, go to the World War II Museum, of course, in New Orleans, which started just as the D-Day Museum. And the little models that they have, the way that they have of trying to provide perspective on it will blow your mind. And it will blow you away. One of my favorite things that I discovered at the museum was the letter, the order of the day from General Dwight Eisenhower. As the troops were, so I think you would have gotten this letter maybe read to you, or you would have received this letter like the day of when it was go time. But here's what he had to say. Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade towards which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brother-in-arms on other fronts, you will bring the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely, but this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940 and 41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battles, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle, and we will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking. Dwight D. Eisenhower. Ooh, I got goosebumps throughout reading that, dude. It's insane, man. Can't imagine being in that boat. Can't imagine the pregame jitters of sailing over when that ramp drops. So much tragedy, so much heartbreak, so much sacrifice. But in the end, that expectation, we will accept nothing less than full victory. The guys got it done. The greatest generation got it done. And for that, we remain forever thankful. 80 years ago today. Amazing.
Oh, I mean, you know me. It's been the last year or so. I've anything World War II that I can get my hands on, I am watching. And the more that you learn, like you think you know it all, and the more that you learn, it's just incredible. The grit, the determination, the valor, like everything that generation had to protect their country. And, you know, the people that were back home and they're across the pond and they're fighting and they're there for, I mean, in some cases years and just doing all these different things in different parts of the country that are foreign to them. And it's just like the greatest generation doesn't even feel like it does it justice. I mean, because it is, and it will always be.
No, I mean, one of the most haunting things I've ever seen or read or just kind of fear-inducing, there's this great exhibit in the World War II Museum where they have like diary entries being read by like an age-appropriate kind of voice actor to add some just a little bit of like humanism to instead of just reading it. And there's this one diary entry of an airman on D-Day. He's freaking 18 years old. And he's jumping out of the plane into France. He loses his weapons on the way down. So he lands away from his group behind enemy territory in a random country, nowhere he's ever been, in a pre-internet age. So it's not like he's ever seen pictures of this place or anything. Like literal on an alien landscape, surrounded by people that want to kill him, and he lands in the dark with just a pistol on him and has to find his way. It's unbelievable. It's unreal, the reserves of courage and tenacity and fight that the human spirit, the human body has, and that generation embodied especially.
And every time that you learn something new about like a new, be it Army, Navy, Marines, like whatever, new branch and a new whatever, like anything that you learn new, it's just like this was so critical to the success and the victory, like this small part, that small part, and it all came together for the common cause. And like, B-17s is something, the Flying Fortress is something I watched the Masters of the Air, and I knew about it from like the Memphis Belle movie, but like you really like the nitty gritty of it. And there's a great quote in there. It's like Hitler put, a wall and a fortress around Europe, but he forgot to put a roof on it. And that's where we come in. And, it's just like, God, just that mentality of like, hey, you can do everything you want. We're going to find a way. And we did.
Yeah. World War II was a great learning lesson in the future of warfare and how basically air superiority was going to be kind of the way of things from here on out. Unbelievable. Like Nookie talks about the leadership shown by Eisenhower and other Allied leaders to be able to navigate all the egos, the cultures, to get everyone kind of looking and rowing in the same direction. I don't know. I don't know how it's possible. I mean, you want to talk about egos. We talk about college football coaches having egos, generals. You read about some of these generals, the egos there are wild. And so to be able to find ways to make it work and be successful is nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, and I love the fact that, now like we have the ability to produce all of these things for everyone to go back and to watch and to really understand what it was, right? And like both my grandfathers served, my dad served, but like I still didn't have an idea like of how many things went into World War II, and then obviously like every thing that this country's been in since then. But it's like to go back and to really like have the Pacific and to watch that and see what the Marines were doing there on those islands right there. That's not a story that gets told a lot, but you watch that and you're like, that was crucial to the victory.
Yeah.
I mean, every little piece of that's what's so fascinating to me is like there was so many small pieces, and we know about some of the big ones, but like just the small things and doing what they were doing.
You read about some of those fights in the Pacific, the Marines having a battle over, islands is a friendly term for something that's really just a tiny little razor sharp coral infested landing strip for an airplane to be able to island hop. And then you read about stuff like the Death March of Bataan and just really any of this jungle fighting. I think it was like New Guinea where it's just, you're dying because of bugs, because of heat. It's wet. It's gross. It's the jungle. It's again, the thing that I always go back to is what human beings can endure and the reserve of the human spirit. And there's maybe no greater testament to that than World War II and reading about it. Shout out to Lathan Campo. He says, morning, guys. Served 8 years in Navy active duty and still shocked me that we pulled this off. It's amazing. Well, thank you for your service there, Lathan. And we got Brian Burgess in there, who, of course, we know served in the Air Force. Huge thank you to all those who served. Brian LaPlace says, my dad was in World War II and 17 years old. God rest his soul. 17 years old. And somebody, Dame, said, these men storm beaches, T-Bob does pool Pilates. But it's funny. I agree. But that's kind of the beauty of what they did, right?
Yeah.
Like they gave up everything so that we could enjoy a more relaxed, safe, more comfortable life on this earth, and it's amazing.
Yeah, we don't have the worries that some have because of what was done before us.
Yeah,
like we get to live a truly free life.
Yeah,
we can sit here. There's no worry of really anything because of what they did and who they were and the standard that they set, and it's not the case in a lot of places.
Brian LaPlace, also an Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service as well. Like you said, there's just you could. It's infinite in the amount of stories there are and everything that you could break down from from World War II and D-Day, even just D-Day.
And I know you probably have one ready to go, T, because you're really good at this. But like some quotes can be like what you just read, very powerful, and some can be long and some can be short, and they can still have the same impact. And Winston Churchill, like my favorite quote maybe of all time, is "Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision." It's
That's
like
very well said.
That's just so powerful. I mean, that's that's less than 10 words, and when you say that, you're like, yeah, I got chills thinking about it.
It encapsulates everything. I've been trying to explain that to my daughter when she's been like telling me she's scared of something or maybe nervous about doing this. I'm like, that's good. That's natural. Like there can be no courage without fear.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel afraid. It's okay to feel anxious about doing something or feel nervous, because that means you're alive and you're giving it the appropriate amount of respect it deserves. You just like, I've never heard that choice quote, but yeah, you got to make the choice to have courage and overcome said fear. So a huge thank you to all of those who sacrificed 80 years ago. And look, man, if you want to talk about things Louisiana got right, that museum over there in New Orleans, if you've never been, it's a top 10 museum in the world. It's not just a top 10 museum in the U.S., the top 10 museum in the entire world, and it's only getting better every day. And actually, one of my best friends, Sarah Kirksey, does these incredible packages, Jake, where you go, it's a multitude of tours in the Pacific Theater and the European Theater, but yeah, you go and see everything. You go up to Eagles, like all of it. So, if you ever, that's kind of maybe the culmination of your World War II journey. If you ever want to check it out, go hit her up.
I was supposed to do that for the birthday this year. I hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to do.
Scott Dice says, my grandpa got a Legion of Honor from France. He went on to become an Army colonel. He never talked about anything, but now I have a shadow box with all his medals. Rest in peace, Colonel Dice. Hell yeah, man. I agree. All right. When we get back, we'll transition back to sports. But again, thank you to the greatest generation, and thank you to Higgins. I mean, everything, whatever. It's amazing. All right, when we get back, more OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com, CommunitySteelCo.com. You need some steel needs? Go check out Community Steel in Gonzales, Louisiana, man. They manufacture everything right there on site. So all of your metal buildings, your sheet metal, your roofing, your trim, your purlin, your tubing, all your steel accessories. It's all right there. And like, okay, the metal buildings, for instance, they're built out on the campus, right? And so if you want to go kind of see it, touch it, feel it, it's any of the products. Before you buy it, like walking to a model home, you can do that at Community Steel. And remember, live and local sales team, straight from the steel wholesaler to the manufacturer, so better prices than anywhere else. It's just, and the local, man. There's no reason to go anywhere else if you need steel. Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com.
Yeah, when you go to that website, we always tell you, man, they are open up at 7 a.m. So, like, when we get started here, their doors are already open. They want you to come check it out for yourself. If you can't make it today, that is okay. Call them at 225-647-2020. Always online at CommunitySteelCo.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. Another day, another LSU Tiger has entered the portal. We'll update the baseball roster for you and some updated NFL win totals. What do they think about the Saints? Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All around me are familiar faces. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What an interesting remix here. And like an 80s style version of Mad World.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's Tears for Fears.
No, I wait. So the Mad World that I know is the remake. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Which Mad World do you know?
Like the one, it was using old Gears of War campaign, maybe in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it's like slower. Oh, so
Yeah.
this is the original Mad World.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I did not know that.
You know the one that's real slow.
Yeah, real slow, very emotional feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that original Gears of War commercial was one of the best video game commercials of all time. Also, I'm pretty sure it's in Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I used to watch Donnie Darko
I thought about Donnie Darko in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't think Donnie Darko's like so like intelligent when you're in high school, then you didn't live high school.
I was in middle school.
I remember
and I was also
going-
like in love with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I did love Maggie for what it's worth.
What was the movie like, at that time, like high school, whatever, that you probably thought you understood fully?
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. Mine's Memento. Like I was like, man, I am so much smarter than everybody else because I watched Memento. It's a great movie. Incredible.
What
And
a
Matrix
great-
plays for sure.
Requiem for a Dream was kind of up there.
That was my freshman year in college. We watched that in English class and we had to write a paper on it.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think
Good movie.
Inception came out while I was in high school. And I probably was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
I mean,
so get that.
Inception is a movie that kind of feels smart, but the more you think about South Park kind of exposed this, but the more you think about it, I do question how smart Inception actually is. Real quick, I got to give a massive shout out to our guy Todd Landry in the chat. 23 years served in the Navy, retired yesterday.
Oh,
congratulations,
Shout
Todd.
out.
23 years.
23
Unreal.
years.
Unreal.
I bet there's some great stories there.
Also, a cool story from Nookie before we get back to sports. Says, live near the American... So Nookie used to live in the Netherlands. Live near the American cemetery in Margraten. The Netherlands is full of casualties from later battles, but it is beautiful to see families in Europe adopt the graves and clean them to this day. He responds to Joey saying it is spotless, and the Memorial Day in place will have you bawling. The Dutch are eternally grateful for their liberation, May 4th, 1945.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see for sure. All right. Let's get to like I teased earlier. LSU wants to build a new basketball arena. We know this. They want to build like an entire new entertainment venue, right? It would have theoretically like restaurants, maybe a couple bars, stuff to do, so that you're not just going for the game. You're going maybe even if there's not a game that day. You're trying to attract big concerts and whatnot. I like the idea. Shoot for the moon. See where you end up. But the question that we had is, okay, but where's it going to end up? And LSU's been saying, it's too early to say. It's too early to say. But shout out, intrepid reporter Andrea Gallo, who does excellent work with The Advocate. She's a FOIA beast, Freedom of Information.
I didn't know what that meant.
She got into the LSU emails. And regardless of what they're saying publicly, they are very focused in on a certain spot, Jake. And it's off of your favorite street, Nicholson, where the LSU golf course is.
Well, that's what we talked
right
about.
Now. Yeah, we talked about it before.
Are we big brain thinkers?
I mean, again, Gordon, Zordon, make it happen. The G team could be the Power Rangers.
I mean, because look, that golf course is in terrible shape.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
They play at U Club now, so there's really no purpose for it.
The golf course, we played it for the alumni tournament a couple of years ago, and it had literal like fresh swatches of grass on the green. There's like a 2-inch thick swat. Like you can't putt because you have to get it up and over the
just an obstacle, too.
Yeah,
gotta find a way.
But
now that would make traffic there.
So they've even done a traffic study.
Well,
trying to figure out how it would go during the construction. The logistics of traffic there seems horrifying.
Yep.
But that is a really good location.
Oh, it's a great location.
Very convenient, right by campus. You could walk to it from multiple spots.
You'd access River Road.
Yeah, exactly. River Road access, like a lot of parking back there as well. I think that makes a lot of sense, dude.
I mean, they do a really nice job during LSU baseball games of controlling the traffic right there. They control the lights, obviously. They stay there for the entirety before the game, after the game. And so if maybe they, if they come up with that, if they can do it at the box, because you're talking about roughly the same amount of people, going to a basketball game or maybe more for a concert. What we talk about the capacity, like around that, right? Like 10 to 15,000 people?
Yeah, like more intimate, but
right?
Maybe more quality. Yeah. Yeah,
that piece of property right there would probably be your best bet.
It would be crazy though, because you're
putting fix Nicholson, please, for the love of God. Can we touch Nicholson? Like, can we not just have cones up? It is like chitty chitty bang bang every single morning, and it's
can't feel good on the back.
Miserable. Yeah, I started before I had to take Jackson to early morning workouts. Like I was going the long way. I was going River Road from my house, which is much longer, so I didn't have to go down Nicholson. And then the train caught me that one day, and I'm like, nope, can't do that anymore.
For what it's worth, Charles Landry, the attorney who's working with TAF on the project, wanted to emphasize that none of this is near final product.
Right.
Saying, quote, what you have isn't at all intended to be the vision of LSU for this project. That is not what it is. This was done for purposes of doing a traffic analysis. Now, would it be a fabulous thing for LSU? Absolutely. Is it a beautiful design? Absolutely. Am I enthusiastic as an LSU alumni in support of LSU that we can have that at LSU? Absolutely. But we're not anywhere close to being anywhere close to that being something we can present to the public. So we're still very early on in all of this. But I did want to update the story. And again, just in terms of a location, I think that's fantastic. And I do agree that it would be a much better use of that real estate.
Yeah.
That's
prime.
Yeah, than a bad golf course.
I mean, as the campus continues to grow in both directions, and you've moved to the box, you've moved Tiger Park, like all right there, you just have a continuous, situation where you have all your sports kind of lined up, and it might not be technically like on campus like it used to be. I mean, remember when we first got here, softball was like in WCA parking lot where gymnastics is now, but they've moved that around, and so you could continue the same feel, and it all feel like it's all together.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't even think about that because the other stadium's right there as well. And look, if you're someone who loves the LSU golf course, I'm sorry. But again.
Yeah, if you are, you haven't been there lately then.
I mean, I don't know. There is a portion of this article where there is a dedicated group of senior golfers, older golfers that were actually like out there, like kind of picketing, basically.
Okay, that's because they don't want to pay the green fee somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
And I can appreciate balling on a budget. I can, but you can't go to that golf course and be like, of the options we have here in the city, this is the one I want to go to, unless you're just trying to save a little bit of money.
Yeah, and in theory, like this proposed project would benefit so many more people.
Yeah.
Right. It would be a true communal benefit versus maybe what it is now. So I like the location again, way far off. We'll see where it goes. What do you do with the PMAC?
That's what I was thinking. That's prime.
That's prime. Yeah.
And if you give that back to the university, they're taking it for whatever they want. Now you got Mike the Tiger's cage right there as well that kind of plays and maybe figures into it. But you turn the old arena, right, and into the barn basically. Like, what are you going to do with the PMAC?
They should connect it with Mike's cage and build out a jungle enclosure and do like live hunting shows.
First off, that's the best idea I've ever heard anyone have.
That would be so badass, dude.
What if they
go
did
watch Mike
with,
stalk some prey? What is
a sacrifice each game?
What is a tiger hunt? I mean, look, again, I'm with you on the human sacrifice.
Yeah.
I don't think democracy is. We didn't get a lot of traction last time
I
we
didn't
proposed
specify human.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that was just you.
I
You
said
tend to do that.
My
pretty
bad.
often.
Maybe I meant a little animal.
Wait, but what does a tiger eat in the jungle? Like, what would you have Mike chasing around? A monkey?
Monkey.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
You know, whatever the opponent is. I mean, play Alabama, just throw an elephant in there. You know.
Yeah.
Oof, it'd be
Is he beating an elephant?
I don't know if a single tiger's beating an elephant. Maybe.
I mean, Mike might.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy for sure.
He's built different.
He's
got that dog in him.
Yeah.
He's got that tiger in him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
big
but
tiger.
that's
The eye
not
of
the
the
same.
cat in him.
We're missing eye of the tiger here.
Yeah, he's got the eye of the tiger.
Anyway, that's what I would do with the PMAC. Or just make it a
Library.
gymnastics.
I was about to say the gymnastics
that
building being attached right there with it, like they could fully take over that building. They can maybe do some things that they would want to do to it, and they fill it up. I mean, so it would have certainly its purpose, and then you can maybe figure out some other things to do there. But that'd probably be pretty cool for them to have their own space, their own building, because they're the most attended program in college gymnastics, right? So it can be maybe you make it more intimate, whatever. Like, you know, you've been in there, you've seen the energy in the PMAC. I'm sure there's things they could do that they'd want to do to that building if it was just theirs.
I agree. So we'll see if this all goes through. But a good proposal. Coming up next here on Off the Bench, let's close out the hour with we got an update. Did you hear about what actually happened to Poirier in that fight? The injuries he's dealing with. We'll get to that next with Diamond. And a very funny Nick Saban story from the man himself about losing to ULM coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com is the website where you can start to explore your next vehicle, be it a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get warranty, maybe it's brand new, maybe you just need a lease, maybe you just need a rent. Maybe your car right now needs a body shop or needs to be serviced. Well, insurance claims are welcome at the All-Star Toyota Service Center. And it doesn't have to be a Toyota. All makes and models are welcome as well. And you get a free professional estimate. And if you mention OTB, you get $100 towards that deductible. And they keep you updated with either texts or calls throughout the process so that you make the final decisions on what should be done with your vehicle. You're like, you know what? I don't want to pay for that right now. No, just give me the tire. Like, you can do whatever. And they got rental cars, shuttle service, all right there. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. Buying new, leasing, everything's available. Like, that's the obvious thing. But also in the rental department, no matter what you're looking for from Toyota, it is available in all three processes that we talk about. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating.
Charles Hanniger joined me and Jimmy out for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at the original walk-ons, Burbank and Nicholson. Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci join us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Timo Jacalandra, Taylor hanging out with you today. So I teased before the break, but Dustin Diamond Poirier has revealed that he broke his nose very badly, broke a rib, and tore his ACL in his title fight from this previous Saturday. He said he broke. Do you remember an accidental headbutt, Alondra? I did not watch the fight. He said he tore his ACL somewhere in the 3rd or the 4th. Again, amazing that you could then fight all the way to the 5th. And that he broke his nose on an accidental headbutt.
I don't remember the headbutt.
Yeah, because he was asked if it was a knee, and he said no, it was the headbutt.
Yeah,
I don't
remember
know.
the knee. I don't remember.
I don't know what I mean.
Warrior. For
yeah,
real.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I don't
too,
know
he was
that I
dealing
know
with-
anybody that's tougher than that guy.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Apparently, too, he was dealing with a rib injury over the final few weeks of his training. So his trainer now saying that he wasn't even be able to be at like full strength during the final preparation.
Can you imagine if he was at full strength?
But not even like making excuses. Like there was a great video, like he's going over it with his trainer, like how he lost, and he's like going through. He's like, "Hey, he got me. Like he won.
He was
got
like, it
me.
is what it is. It was a good fight. Yeah.
Because like he was going through the moment of what he did wrong, maybe to get in a bad position.
Yeah.
He's like going through it in his head, and he's like, "Oh, he got me."
And
if only I hadn't torn my ACL, I would have been fine.
But there wasn't like that was the cool thing. Like there wasn't any of that. It was just like, well, he got me.
Sure.
So like all that, but so a few weeks, it was like maybe a few months ago, actually, Jack Della Maddalena finished a fight with a broken arm. So they do stuff like that. But yeah, to do with a torn ACL and give Islam a run for his money is insane.
I mean, you think about who that man's had to fight 3 times for a belt.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the best that we've ever seen, and another one that's super solid.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy for him. And again, the best part, like, no complaining, goes about his business.
Yeah.
Tough as hell.
Took pictures with everybody at the airport in Lafayette. Like,
Okay, so here's a very funny story to end the hour with. This was Nick Saban from a while ago speaking to an Alabama crowd, and he's telling a story about losing to ULM in year one at Bama.
If you remember back the first year that we were at Alabama, we lost to ULM. You may not even know what that stands for, University of Louisiana Monroe. And it was the most humiliating defeat, maybe, of my entire coaching career. I think we had 5 guys suspended by the NCAA. We had 3 more suspended for disciplinary reasons. We played horrible in the game. I was almost ashamed of how we represented the university and the program. We fumbled the ball 6 times. So we end up getting beat in the game, so everybody's disappointed, fans are disappointed, coaches are disappointed, players are disappointed. But when you're the coach, you have to go in the locker room after the game and try to inspire your guys when they didn't perform very well. Then you have to go to the press conference and try to explain to people why you played so poorly. Then you have to go to the recruiting room and try to talk to the recruits that it's not really going to be this way in the future. So then, after all that humiliation, I get in my car to drive home, and I don't have any gas in the car. So now I got to stop at a self-serve, put some gas in the car, and I used to wear my LSU national championship ring. So I go to pay the guy, and the guy says, "Wow, what's that ring?" And I said, "That's a national championship ring, and we're going to do the same thing here at Alabama." And the guy looks at me and says, "We'll never do it as long as that Nick Saban is the coach."
We got Munchies coming up. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Trash Rangers today, trashrangersllc.com, or you can run over to trashsignup.com. If you live in Livingston or Central Parish, you can make the switch in a matter of minutes. Trying about just 5 minutes, you can select your number of camps, to your pickup days, the prices, everything, and you can go with a company that actually gives a damn about you and the community. And that unlike these national companies that, take the profits out of Louisiana to keep the trash here, it's not the case of Trash Rangers. They're your neighbors, man. And so their profits are funneled back into churches, little league teams, again, back into the community. And because they're neighbors, it's more efficient, it's more reliable. They give a damn. So figure out why all your neighbors are making the switch to the red can. Go to trashrangersllc.com.
Remember, even if you're not in an area where you can make that switch, you can always call them for your roll-off dumpster. So if you own a business here in Baton Rouge, we are talking to you. They can service that area. So go ahead and find all that information out. It's right there on the homepage of the website, trashrangersllc.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Thursday, June 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 90 in hour 3 of today's show. We'll have our Munchies segment with LSU Executive Chef Michael Johnson at 9:15, the NFL story of the day, and more. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, hour number 3. We got Munchies coming up next segment. And I have pieced together Babe Ruth's daily diet to try to get us ready for some Munchies talk with Chef Michael Johnson. It is absolutely absurd. Wait until you see it. Jake, did you see I was very confused with this. See McAfee the other day opened his show talking about Taylor?
No, I did not.
You didn't see that? When he was talking about that white bit? I can't believe you said that. That was crazy.
Well, it's crazy.
That was my third time using that joke on Taylor. I walked into the office. First thing I said to him, I was like, Taylor, why did McAfee apologize to you?
And I got to tell you, it was as funny this time as it was the first time.
You fell right into it the first time. No, don't even. You got played.
Did you see the assist that Pat had in the soccer tournament yesterday?
No.
Oh, so you know the soccer tournament, like it's. He's got a team. J.J. Watt's got a team. Ochocinco's got a team. There's like legends of the game. It's literally called the TST, soccer tournament. Yeah, and the winner gets $2 million. The team that wins gets $2 million. And
so they're
there's like legends.
So he's playing. Ochocinco's playing.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt's not playing.
Oh yeah. He's part owner of Burnley, and they got a Burnley team. Yeah.
But what is he playing? What does J.J. Watt play on the pitch?
He was playing forward yesterday for a little bit. He was in the goal for a little bit.
That man threw himself up at forward. Come on now.
Right. He went for a header and took the goalie out. I mean, just straight out.
Yeah, I'm going to need some TSG highlights to break down at the 9:30. I mean, he feels like he'd be a great goalie.
He looks... I mean, he's a large human.
To go challenge,
but like when you put somebody like that out there with other soccer players, like he looks even bigger.
Yeah, it's the inverse of the NBA effect.
Yeah,
where 6'4" in the NBA looks tiny, 6'4" on a soccer pitch looks massive.
Yeah,
even though he's like 6'5" or 6'6". I remember seeing him at the NFL awards when they were here in New Orleans. I got to go, and that was one of the most intimidating looking human beings I'd ever seen in my entire life. Do you want to hear Babe Ruth's daily eating routine, allegedly?
Should we? I don't think we could do this. I was saying like it'd be kind of cool with Chef coming up if we like played this for him and then maybe got him to react, but I don't think we can
Well, we
do
can.
that.
I mean, I can tell. I will read. I was wondering the same thing, but I just wanted to discuss for a second here. Just rehash.
Could we play the audio of Babe Ruth's diet with Chef on the phone?
Well, I can just read it to him. I'll just read it to him. We don't even need to do the audio.
We could do that.
Yeah, but basically, Babe Ruth would wake up. He would drink a quart of whiskey mixed with gin. Ginger ale, excuse me. No, sorry.
Oh my God! I was like,
a quart of
okay,
whiskey
Tommy
mixed with
Tough
ginger
Nuts.
ale. Probably though, because
Jeez.
again, as we'll see from the rest of his diet, that that ginger ale was needed. And then he had like very famous, or basically on stomach problems. What maybe ended up killing him, but whatever.
Well, yeah.
Well, if
Start
you're
your
doing
day
that,
with
I mean,
whiskey.
yeah.
Yeah, so he would drink a quart of bourbon and ginger ale with breakfast. His breakfast would consist of a steak with up to 1 dozen eggs. So somewhere in there. He would also have potatoes. That'd be every morning. Then for lunch, he would have, for an afternoon snack, he would have 4 hot dogs, each washed down with a bottle of Coca-Cola. So 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes.
Me too.
Then he would have an early supper and a light supper, which were the same. And I can't tell if this was both suppers placed together, if this is what I'm about to read was like both the early and light. But either way, it's crazy. The early and light supper were 2 porterhouse steaks, 2 heads of lettuce drenched with blue cheese, 2 platefuls of college fried potatoes, and 2 apple pies. And just for good measure, to make sure it really filled in the corners, in between the suppers, he would have 4 more hot dogs and 4 more Cokes.
Did it come with a diaper?
Bruh, that's
I know that
crazy.
gas was serious.
Oh,
I mean,
my
I know that gas was
God.
serious.
How many calories do we think that is?
I don't know. I also
10,000?
ran against. I don't know.
Gotta
I
be
also
more.
ran
I would think
across
more than that.
I ran across a great quote from when he signed with the Yankees or something. Basically, they told him like the meals were included, and he was like, "Hold up, so I can just eat like as much as I want." And then they said that day he had like 4 wheat cakes or something. And again, people used to eat ridiculous, but he was still outside the norm because in this anecdote, they talk about him eating all this wheat cake and basically the entire room had just stopped to watch him because they were amazed at how much food he was able to take down.
So in 4 hot dogs, 700 calories. So you're eating 4 twice.
And then 4 Cokes has got to be up there.
1,400,
I mean, that's probably another 150 a piece at least. 2 porterhouse steaks had to be damn over 1,000 as well. A lot of protein.
The heads of lettuce. First
Drenched
off,
with blue cheese.
He just had 2 heads of lettuce, like not a salad, 2 heads of lettuce.
Babe Ruth was a man of voracious appetites.
8 Cokes, 1,200 calories.
Greedy for home runs, greedy for hot dogs, greedy for everything.
Yeah, that guy's not touching Paul Skeens.
Well, look, we say that, but if he could do this and survive for as long as he did, he could adapt to
Look,
that.
I just don't think he was going to change his ways, though.
I'm
Put
actually
that man
more
on a
board.
modern. Me too.
I don't think he would, though.
Yeah.
I don't think he would
I'm
go
with
on
you.
one.
I
don't
think
think- does he need to?
I think he would. I think he'd be. I think he would still eat an absurd amount, but it would be like healthier and
Organic.
chef prepared and like he'd
Organic
be,
hot
you know,
dogs.
and wouldn't lock up his gastrointestinal tract and make his butthole bleed. Like I think. I think Babe would have been just fine in this era. I love reading about old eating habits. So again, my favorite part of, I never finished it, but Devil in the White City was Chicago architects getting together and having a meal that consisted of about 13 courses. Everyone was paired with a drink. There was a cigarette break in there. There was a cigar break in there. Multiple. Oh, I mentioned the pot of coffee after breakfast as well.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't mention the
Yeah,
coffee.
sorry. So the
whole
court
pot?
that said a pot of coffee.
I imagine him drinking it like Stud used to, just straight out of the pot.
Yeah.
Real question is, does he beat Joey Chestnut in a hot dog eating contest?
No
I mean,
chance.
that's
No
competitive
chance. But again,
eating,
that's not Babe ain't
Did
here
y'all
to
see
do that.
Chestnut doing the ice cream pints?
Yes.
Like, how'd his head not explode?
That's what I'm saying.
I wonder that every time I see Joey Chestnut eat because
It disgusts
he
me,
literally
to be honest.
turns into the little kid meme, the kid in the classroom who's like got the vein popping out of his head and he's like, "Grr." Like that's Joey Chestnut every time he's in an eating competition.
I can't watch those videos.
you
They
went
gross
down
me out.
to Joey Chestnut before, right? He was in the one that you were in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually got second that day. He went down that day.
Yeah.
Cold day. Tough to eat cheese pizza on a cold day.
Well, he finished one slice. Can't say that for everybody.
You think you would have finished slice, big guy?
Yeah, no doubt.
No chance.
Yeah.
It's that
No
that,
chance.
like what is it, like the 2-foot slice?
Yeah, it's the Fat Boys Giant slice.
How long do you have to finish it?
Bro, you would not finish a slice.
How long do you have to finish
I
it?
don't remember, but you would not finish one. I guarantee you.
Wow, you gonna put some money up on this?
Yes, absolutely. Who thinks they can out-eat me here?
I don't know. Taylor seems pretty confident.
Taylor
has a strong stomach. He drinks Nas.
Yeah, I was about
and,
to say, like
green
that
energy
lining of that
drinks.
stomach. It's
We ain't talking about strong stomach. I said who can
you don't
out-eat
have a
me?
strong stomach.
Who can out-eat me? I don't
But
think
you
y'all can.
don't. But you don't have a strong stomach. He does.
I already beat your ass in an eating competition.
Buy one burger. You did.
Thank you.
Slider.
Okay, you want to step up and get beat next? Let me know.
Let's do it.
Wait, how many sliders did y'all
Got
eat?
me and T-Bob. We were first and second. He got
6 in
6
2 minutes.
and I got 5 in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
And JP
because,
got like 2.
We were teamed up with a couple of lawyers who remain unnamed, and my partner didn't finish a single slider.
Yeah.
No.
And Jake's partner finished 1. So we went into tie breaks, and I managed to get down a single slider faster than Jake, so that's how we ended up winning.
You could eat a whole
Not
slider
a
in
one.
2 minutes?
I literally wanted to kick him in the nuts. I just sat here and shoveled down 6 sliders in 2 minutes, and he couldn't give me
Man,
one.
I'll tell you
free
what
win.
though, I felt that for the rest of the day.
I took home 18 sliders. I remember my family was out of town, and all I did was play World of Warcraft Classic and eat sliders for 2 days. I was
Utopia
in an
for you.
awful spot 2 days later. Great Durin. I felt like I was emerging out of a heroin hole after 48 hours later.
I say we put $100 on it.
On what?
On Taylor being able to finish a slice in whatever set amount of time we come up with.
One of those big fat boy slices.
How long did you have?
However long I had. We'll do it.
This
Go
time
for
in the
it.
morning?
Go for it. I don't care. He's not finishing the slice.
Okay.
I get y'all. Who here has done an eating competition?
No, I can't say I have.
I've never done one.
There is nothing more intimidating than the first bite. You probably think you can eat the hell out of some hot dogs.
Yeah.
I've thought so before.
I think it's the bun that would get you in the hot dog.
That's fine. Dip it in the water then. That's how I won our OT challenge. I dipped that slider in the water.
did.
That's disgusting.
Well, how bad do you want it? Okay,
Not
because
bad enough
if
to
you're
dip a hot
scared
dog
of
in
that,
water.
Taylor, you're not finishing that pizza. Guaranteed.
Okay, was
I
there
don't
any
like that. I
toppings
don't like
on the
that
pizza?
energy.
No, it's cheese pizza, you
Cheese pizza.
dummy.
Okay, cheese is not that bad.
Okay, good. Then please, yes, we'll absolutely get you to prove it. Fat Boys, get us a big giant slice of pizza up here tomorrow, and we will make Taylor embarrass him. I'm telling you, you think you can eat, and then you deal with that first bite, and you're like,
I gotta tell you that, like, thinking about it, that seems like one of those where it's like, oh, a 2-foot slice, but you see a 2-foot slice in front of you, like that seems.
Look,
that
I
seems
thought
backtracking.
I thought I'd be able to take down one,
No, I'm
and
not
I didn't even get
backtracking.
close. I started fake eating it because the crowd was sitting there yelling at me.
I had
just like put it up to your mouth.
Yeah.
I had one of my flag football players, G, that knows T-Bob and has hung out, been around him before. And he literally, they walked over there to see T-Bob in this contest, just for T-Bob. And he was so disappointed in T-Bob. Like, he came back and was like, Coach Jake, like,
It was cold,
he
dude.
didn't even finish the slice.
That's what Joey Chestnut said. It's hard to eat pizza on a cold day like that, dude. It's hard. I don't know what to tell you. I think Chestnut's record is like 13 feet of pizza, though. It's like 6.5 slices or something in that time period. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it
Well,
was
so
4.5 or
on the
something.
wall in Fat Boys over there, I guess it's the 2-foot slice or whatever. You see his record of how fast he ate it?
Yeah.
It's like 33 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, it's something ridiculous.
We should do the fire in the hole ones from Pluckers.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's just too spicy.
I ain't
for me.
trying
don't
to
know
deal
how
with
many
that coming out the other end.
I don't know how many
I'd
I
win
could
that
eat,
one.
though, because it's so spicy.
Oh, shocking. Taylor doesn't like spice.
Yeah,
No,
I'm very
it's not
shocked
that
by
I don't like spice, but like, can I eat 40 of these super hot wings? No.
It's like McAfee told him.
Yep.
This little white doesn't even like spice. Yeah, let's do it then, Taylor. Put your money where your mouth is. You owe me $100 if you lose.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to pay me. I'm just gonna be so happy when you're proven wrong. All right, coming up next, we got Munchies. Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Listen up. If you are a project manager or a designer, you want to go check out Pinnacle Exterior Construction because we are hiring at Pinnacle. And if you want to have an idea of maybe what work to expect, I would push you to the website. PEC Built PECbuilt.com, and it's for all of your outdoor living needs. If it's a completely custom pool, a spec pool, any size fence, any type of fence, pergolas, bulkheads, outdoor living spaces, outdoor kitchens, even entire homes. Their creativity, their gallery, their quality of product is going to blow you away. You're going to want to be a part of this team. It's going to allow you to be creatively fulfilled along with having a great job, great benefits, everything else, right? Let's go check them out today. Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, once you go to the website, you'll see what T-Bob's talking about. You can make your pool, your backyard space like as custom can be. And they've got spec pools that are incredible as well, not just one design, multiple designs. Check it all out online at PECbuilt.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson from Saints OTAs. Joe Healy putting a bow on the LSU baseball season. And the voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. It's time for the Munchies with Chef Michael Johnson, legend of the game. Okay, y'all just told me this 30 seconds ago. I missed this. Our friend Chef Michael Johnson has gone viral. What's going on here?
Chef, I mean, would you like to explain? I mean, you were pretty popular there on the old intraweb yesterday. You and the team. Glad to see it. I'm glad that game recognizes game.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't recall where it came from first, but I know college football picked it up and a couple of other Instagram pages. But somebody at some point said on the road Rodgers. Is that right? Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But so what? Yeah. So what did they say?
He was just saying, he had just learned that LSU put the chefs on their team page.
Hell yeah.
Like we have a performance nutrition page that we're listed with, as LSU staff with the team, so on and so forth. And they were just commenting about how classy it was, and it's why it makes LSU, GOAT status. And I don't know. I've always thought that it was something that made me feel, like part of the team. And the fact that we travel, myself and a couple other chefs, the fact that we travel with teams, we really are treated as family over here. And I don't know. It was fun to be recognized from the outside, but LSU's always recognized.
Oh, it was Roger Sherman. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Roger Sherman, very big college football voice. I think he used to be at SB Nation.
Yeah.
Just this last year, he toured. He went on an insane college football tour all around the country.
There you go.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, Chef. It's got to.
Yeah.
Look, I always love. There's so many pieces that go into a major athletic program like this. It's wonderful when some of the outside of just the athletes get highlighted. So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it was cool. That's not why we do it. We do it for the athletes, but it's really nice when it's recognized as part of the game and part of what we do. And that the dream of what it was supposed to be, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. I hopefully we're accomplishing that, and we continue to try to reinvent ourselves. So. We want to stay ahead of the curve and set the tone.
Chef, I'm thinking sometimes to go forward, you got to look back. I'm gonna pitch you an idea here. I'm gonna read you Babe Ruth's daily diet and see if you think this could be successful in a modern athletic setting.
Can I take a guess at what it is just before you start?
Yes, go for it.
I'm willing to bet hot dogs is on there.
A lot of hot dogs, but as you'll see, hot dogs are kind of just like an addendum to the main show here. So he would wake up and drink a quart of bourbon mixed with ginger ale.
Yeah.
He would then have up to a dozen eggs along with some steak and and a pot of coffee.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Got to move it all through, right?
Got to get it out of there, right? In the afternoon, you have an afternoon snack of 4 hot dogs, each washed down with a Coca-Cola. So 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes. Then he would have an early supper and a light supper, which were the same. Now, the numbers I'm about to read, I imagine are those 2 suppers combined, but I'm not entirely sure. But the early and light supper would consist of 2 porterhouse steaks, 2 heads of lettuce drenched with blue cheese, 2 plates of full college fried potatoes, 2 apple pies. And just for good measure, in between the light and early supper, the early and light supper, he would have 4 more hot dogs and 4 more Cokes.
Yeah, I've heard rumor that he used to eat hot dogs and beer during game, to keep his energy up. Whatever, golly, man, the guy's a beast, bro. The quart of bourbon in the morning, man, that's something else right there, dude.
I mean, you got to get that ginger ale down somehow.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, right.
So you're saying you would not advise that for an athlete in today's kind of sports landscape?
That's not how I would go about it, though. That's wild. 2 porterhouse steaks, man. That's got to be like.
I know.
I mean,
and then a head of lettuce drenched in blue cheese.
Yeah, well, you got to have fiber to push. Right? My God.
Bill Bobak says, #Munchies. I'm doing a brisket that'll be ready Saturday night. Is seasoning it today too soon?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I would season it today. Let it sit overnight. He's smoking it for Saturday, or he's smoking it Friday?
It sounds like brisket will be ready Saturday night. So it's like a Friday night smoke.
Yeah, no. Season it today. Kosher salt, black pepper, and then because that salt's going to draw the moisture out. Absolutely. I really encourage people to take their time with things and let that salt do its deal. There's going to be exchange of salt into the meat, and the moisture is going to be drawn out into the salt, and that's what helps form the crust. The black pepper soaks in and helps form some flavor. Maybe wait until this evening. You kind of time yourself out a little bit, but absolutely not. I encourage to do it one day out.
Hashtag Munchies. Who is your GOAT chef and why?
Yeah, Jacques Pepin is really the one who I kind of lean to. There have been chefs who were instrumental in growing our profession, but Jacques Pepin, by and large, is just probably the most talented man I've ever seen. Cook, and it's just incredible. Like knife skills. The first thing he tells you to put down the knife and use your hands for stuff, and it's a brilliant thought. Most chefs just go straight to the knife, especially younger chefs, and like peeling fat away from muscle tissue. Like when it's cold, that knife is not going to do anything as efficient as what your hands can. Your hands can find the gaps in there, and your fingers are meant by touch, and the feel there, you lose the feel when you're using your knife, and even the most advanced chef who like that knife is an extension of their hand, you still don't have the dexterity or the feel that your fingers do. And Jacques Pepin is just he's an extraordinary chef, and still to this day is cooking in ways that I don't know. He's creative. He's quality. He doesn't sway from his integrity. There's been lots of chefs in days gone by who tainted their name with something that they were doing stupid in the kitchen, and you just don't see that with a guy like Jacques Pepin.
Yeah, it's rare to hear you so effusive as well, Chef. So I could tell that this is a legitimate love. Is this kind of who the chef that Remy likes in Ratatouille, is that kind of who that's loosely based on, would you say, potentially, or no?
I would say that he's up there. You know what I mean? Like there have been some French chefs from days gone by that were really like a Scoffier. Scoffier was kind of the father of French cooking, and he, I think, probably is referring to Escoffier in that movie. He really turned food into something that's modern, and another one there. Never got to meet the guy, never got to experience his cooking or anything, but really just took food out of the dark ages into something that was palatable and presentable.
Hashtag Munchies, dealing with a cold this week. What are you eating or drinking while you're sick?
Clear liquids, cold chicken broth, bone broth. When I get sick, bone broth is my go-to, and trying to put vegetables in there. I stay away from the starches. I don't necessarily go to chicken noodle soup, but clear liquids help process your body. Stay away from sugars and stuff like that, carbs and stuff. I try to just keep the clear liquids pumping through, and bone broth does that very well. It's got lots of vitamins and minerals in it, and it's good for the body. Warm, it helps soothe the throat. I will tell you this: I do use honey when I'm sick because it helps coat the throat. Honey also has antibodies in it that help the body promote healing. So yeah.
Chef, if you were like trying to hit reset and you hadn't been eating right and you hadn't been living the way you wanted to and you want to hit reset, like, is that like a slow process? Like if you have an athlete who are like, hey, we got to change some things up, is that a slow process? Is that hey, day one, we got to make some changes? Like how would you go about building into like a better lifestyle?
If it was me, I want to say it can be a quick process, but dealing with somebody else, you have to feel the person out first, and you have to build trust. You got to see where they are first. If you have a student athlete that come from, wherever, and mom and dad have only been feeding them, these few things, and that's what they're comfortable with, you're not going to be able to knee-jerk react and put them on this harsh, all healthy diet. So we use the expression, meet them where they are. And I think that's something that's modern. We meet the athlete where they are. We want to know how comfortable they are trying new things. And in that process, we're feeding them the things that they're comfortable with, building trust and building conversations. And then as that trust grows and the relationship develops, it's kind of a carrot and stick kind of deal a little bit, like you throw it out there, see if you can get them to move a little bit. And if you get them to move, you throw it out there a little farther next time and try to get them out of their comfort zone and try to open their mind up to, the idea that there are better other foods out there. So, if you have somebody that's super open-minded, Jake, it can happen quickly. If you have somebody that's a little bit more reserved and isn't comfortable with it, it takes time.
Meet them where they are and then subtly get them to where you need them to be.
Yeah,
Very
and,
good
and
strategy,
honestly, it can move quickly once you get the trust. And like if the first time you throw something out there and they bite, the second time you might throw it a little bit further. And you got to feel the human being out to how comfortable they are with trying new things. Sometimes once you break that barrier down, it can advance quickly.
It's like the floodgates are open.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And sometimes, like I don't ever use names, but I recall an athlete that he would only eat ramen noodles, even on the road on travel. Man, it's hard to fuel a human body with ramen noodle, and it was a tough go.
Hashtag Munchies. Do you use a binder in your hamburger, like eggs, or do you just do straight ground meat?
Not on my burgers. On a meatloaf or a hamburger steak or something that's going to have liquid in it or a longer cooking time, I will. But a burger you cook so quickly that the proteins coagulate fast and tense up. So I don't necessarily use binder in my burgers, no. But I will in ground meat dishes that that I cook.
In honor of the greatest playoff event starting this weekend, talking about the NHL, what would you cook for the Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers to exemplify their local cuisines, the most geographically south and geographically north teams in the entire league?
Yeah, gosh, man, that's tough because I'm a Blues fan first of all, and diehard Blues fan. Edmonton, if I'm going up that far, I'm thinking French, and poutine is something that a lot of Canadians really love, and maybe variations of poutine depending on, and down in Florida, gosh, I mean, fresh seafood, gator, something of that nature. Yeah. I'm not a huge Panthers fan. I'm more of a Tampa Bay Lightning guy. I had a buddy that was Tampa Bay, so I might beat them a little bit better. I don't. It's something. It's got to be Southern regional. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Fresh Gulf grouper or something of that nature. That's got lots of omegas and stuff in it. Yeah.
Chef, we just one of our good friends gave us a ton of venison, and it's been so much fun. Like just put it in different things, and it's obviously versatile and tastes great and lean meat and all those things. Like what maybe is something that you've put it in that you didn't think initially it was going to go with, but turned out it was really good?
I've used venison on a lot of stuff, man. Like chili, for instance. With if you're trying to alter the flavor of chili. Like I like to put cocoa powder in my chili, not sweet cocoa powder, but bitter cocoa powder, and that it really pairs well with the venison. And I've actually put like bitter chocolate shaved bitter chocolate into a chili with venison before, and a lot of chili spice and some even like there's some really interesting chilies out there that are smoky. There's one called Urfa Biber, or it's URFABIBER. And it blends in really well with chili. I don't know. The first thing that came to mind as you said that, I recalled this chili dish that I did, and venison, like kind of a Texas style where you cut the meat up in small chunks and instead of grounding it,
Chef, you'll be getting a text from me later just to go over that again. So appreciate it.
You should do some Chase Claymore back in college used to do some great chili spaghetti, or excuse me, it'd be great venison spaghetti. I mean, whatever, just spaghetti.
Yeah, we did venison spaghetti and tacos. That's been the two things that we've done. It's been fantastic.
Over Memorial Day weekend, I smoked some venison and blended it like 50-50 with some brisket, and did like a because the brisket has heavy fat in it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fatty. And so I blended the two together, and it was really charismatic. And I made a little barbecue sauce with like, as a molasses-based Kansas City style barbecue sauce. But I took some candied jalapenos and the vinegar that comes from it, kind of sweet and spicy, and put that into the sauce. Man, it was. My mouth is watering thinking about it.
I'd tussle with that meat mixture. I mean, let me add it. Let me add it. Let me spin. God, that sounds so good. Hashtag Munchies. Is there another way to cook soft shell crab other than frying?
Yeah, I mean, boiling it obviously, but my favorite way is to fry it, and I'm sorry, I'm thinking blue crab, not soft shell.
Soft shell.
You can pan fry it, instead of like tempura deep frying it, you can pan fry it. You can bake them, like oil them and bake them pretty quickly and easily. But by and large, it's all going to be dry heat cooking methods with oil and fat. You're trying to crisp that soft shell up a little bit so it has some texture to it. But I mean, for me, it's deep fried or even oven fried.
The soft shell's like not exactly like a venison type deal, but it's like what they're just into a new shell, or how's that work? Like it's not actually you're not cooking to make the shell soft.
No, they've freshly molted and they haven't developed their hard exoskeleton yet, and so it's literally an edible exoskeleton to where it's it's super soft. And actually, crawfish do the same thing. A lot of people don't know that, but you can get soft shell crawfish. They're just hard as hell to find, and they're expensive as hell. But most crustaceans, that have that exoskeleton like that, do molt. That's how they grow. Like they grow out of that shell and into another one, and it takes some time for the next one to harden and dry.
I'd be so pissed if I was like, "Oh man, I love this new shell," and then somebody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat you."
Yeah,
actually,
like a fresh haircut, man.
All right, so I know we got some listeners that probably are not going to like this question, but I want to ask it. #Munchies. Is Skyline chili worse than cat food, and why is the answer yes?
Gosh, I mean,
I've never had it. It does not look bad to me, dude.
No, me neither.
There's going to be some people who are upset over this at me too, because I know some folks that love Skyline chili.
Yeah, I think we're probably thinking of some of the same people. Yeah.
So you don't like it, Chef?
I'm not a fan of it. No, I'm not. And just to be honest, I'm not a fan of things out of a can. Like even olives. Like I've started procuring olives that they come out of a bag. They've got to be imported in something, right? But I don't like the flavor of things that come out of a can. We do buy San Marzano tomatoes out of a can from Italy, but they're DOP certified, and like the cans have this lining. It's kind of like a wax lining on the inside, so it doesn't transfer as much. But by and large, man, I don't buy canned foods. It's like quick frozen fruits and vegetables are so much better for you because they're frozen in the moment when they have quality, and most canned foods have been cooked to the point to where they're losing some of their nutrient value, and unless they're retaining, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think also some of it reverts back to my childhood and eating just canned green beans and asparagus so much as a kid.
So bad, dude.
Oh, God.
Canned green beans are the worst. And it's so sad because you can actually make green beans so tasty so easily.
Yeah. I love green beans.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's actually, but it's just a different generation.
I think most people actually think green beans are supposed to be brown when you eat them, and that's the wild thing is, like a green bean, its healthiest green bean, that, like its best moment. Like it's just been braised a little bit, or had a little steam in it to release some of the fiber, and it's still got a little crunch in it. It's definitely still got bright, like a bright green, vibrant color to it. But, then you're going to have the, like smothered green beans, and it's hard to argue with the smothered green bean that, has some potatoes cooked down with it and some bacon fat and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's the exception to the rule, I think.
Ooh, God, Chef, yeah, you make me so hungry. I love you. You have a great day, Chef. Thank you so much.
You too, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Take
Chef.
care. We'll talk to you next week.
Don't forget us when you go viral again.
Yeah, #Munchies. Jeez, dude. Sounds so good. I started having a weird fantasy about Taylor molting and then me eating him. And he being like, no, don't do it. I'm just like,
You can't eat for how many more hours in your fast?
I'll probably eat around 2 or 3.
Yeah. I'll probably eat 2 sliders with a little bit of water.
I did that the other day. I do that once a week. I can't help it. I love it so much. It's so good. But it's like I can't allow myself to go. If I got what I wanted, I'd get like 4 sliders, Biggie style, fries, queso, and I'd die.
You go a milkshake with it or no?
I mean, if I just had unlimited, yeah, sure, so why not, man? Dude? Hell yeah, throw it in. All right, coming up next, more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Tommy's. Windows, doors, and siding.
Tommy.
Go Tommy's. GEAUXTommies.com. Tommy himself has been in the windows, doors, and siding game for 27 years. Now, after 2 decades, said, you know what? I want to strike out on my own. I want to make my own business because there are some things that I would do differently, some things that I would do better. And, well, in these 7 years since, been a resounding success story. Why? Because he did things differently and did them better. And mainly it's centered around the customer service and treating you the correct way and ensuring that you are satisfied with the job that's done. So whether you need hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door, make Tommy's one of the bids on your project. Make them one of the bids and let them show you why they are your answer. GoTommys.com.
Yeah, there's a reason why they've won Angie List Super Service Award every single year since 2016. There's no years in between where they did not. Every single year, you're going to get that kind of service, that kind of work, that kind of quality from Tommy's. GoTommys.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR. Another day, another LSU Tiger has entered the portal. We'll update the baseball roster for you. And some updated NFL win totals. What do they think about the Saints? Join us, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, let's run through a number of stories here. I want quick takes, guys. Taylor, looking at you.
Taylor.
The Lakers are preparing a massive offer to Dan Hurley to be their head coach. My quick take would be this. Does any college coach feel like they'd be a good fit with LeBron? I feel like Dan Hurley's a guy that's used to having his way. Like, I am the man, you listen to me, and you will be successful. I don't know if that works in the NBA.
Yeah, that's my take on it.
He definitely has his own way of doing things, but I know LeBron's been a fan of his from afar. He went on, so Hurley was on the JJ Redick podcast, and LeBron made a comment, love the way that he is creative in his offense, love the staff, all those kind of things. And so, that goes a long way. Like, it really does. Like, with him already kind of having an idea of who that coach is and respecting what that coach is doing. I think Dan Hurley's he's a no-nonsense guy, but I think him in the past saying he wants to be NBA head coach, like his brother played in the NBA, like he realizes that it is going to have to be a little bit different.
Well, and apparently they're going to make him like a sweetheart offer, very long-term, a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Lakers do that, you probably just say, F it and go for it. Though, have any of those UConn coaches ended up being good? Where'd Ollie go? Did he go to the Nets after he won the Natty? Kevin Ollie?
Did he? Yeah, I think so.
Didn't go well for him. We'll see. Hurley's a beast, though. LSU women's basketball is hosting the nation's #1 recruit on an unofficial visit this weekend, Aaliyah Chavez. 5'9" point guard from Lubbock, Texas. She must be a little water bug, Bo. You know what I'm saying? Flitting around the court.
I like it. We need a point guard.
That's crazy, though, to be the #1 player in the country and you're 5'9" from Lubbock.
The fact that she's from Lubbock and #1 is insane.
Yeah. Shout out. Shout out Aaliyah Chavez. Hope the visit goes well. LSU's one of 10 schools she's considering.
Nice.
What else did we have on here? Griffin Harry named a finalist for the Stopper of the Year award, given to the top relief pitcher in the NCAA. Of course, he had a 1.79 ERA with over 50 innings. 67 Ks, only 13 walks, a 215 batting average.
6 saves.
How about in the SEC alone, a 1.14 ERA? That's insane.
That'll get it done.
He's incredible, man. I hope he comes back. I would love to see him with the opportunity to be a weekend starter. I feel like he's got the perfect kind of mentality to be able to go from what he is right now to a starter. That's not an easy transition, but we've seen his mentality. I love how he talks to himself on the mound and figures it out, and I would love to see him get that opportunity. Now, he could go get drafted, and, I don't know where his career would start in the minor leagues as a reliever, if they'd say, hey, you can be a starter here, but I think there's a lot to gain for him if he did come back.
Come back, Griffin, please. Please. The LSU North Carolina matchups on Saturday, Monday in Chapel Hill were the 2 most watched regional games ever, according to ESPN.
That makes it even worse. I'm just like, God. LSU baseball is like the brand. I mean, the Watford games had massive numbers as well, so it's LSU. No disrespect to Carolina. Congrats, you won. It's because LSU was in it.
Yep. I'm inclined.
Because the Watford number was like 600,000 people.
And then
that's 3 times the amount of students that Watford has. Or sorry, like 3 times, 300 times.
I thought I had something that I was gonna make fun of. I thought I had something.
I have something if you don't have it.
Yeah, what you got?
Okay, so we've got it's not a tidbit. We've got that speak up thing. If you listen on our 104.5 ESPN app, you can speak up and send us either like a little voice message or a little text or something, and we can play it or talk about it on the show. Ryan Smith sent us an audio message today, and this is what Ryan Smith had to say on our Speak Up app.
Come on, Hester. Get loose. Jacob Hester is a fullback for the LSU Tigers. It is like a running back, but they are less athletic and usually white. They usually block. Please look at the stats.
Please look at this. Jacob Hester's college level. Come on, Bangels. Take us to break.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org. Thank you for that, Ryan Smith. I absolutely loved that. centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. 5 decades of solving your plumbing problems, okay? So you're not going to hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing, great warranty, coverage once warranty done, and of course, everybody's licensed, bond insured. So come on, Bangels, get Central Plumbing. Central Plumbing is college level. It's a plumbing service if you use them, your problems get solved. It's so hard to understand.
Yes, it is. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what I'm missing here.
They're college level. If the coach wins a division, it goes to the Hall of Fame. It's not hard to understand.
No.
Read the stats. The stats are Central Plumbing's awesome.
I know that about them. I just don't know about the comedian. Our comedian's very loose term there. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Oshner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Oshner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered.
Sandegriff joined me and Jimmy out for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. We are at the original walk-ons, Burbank and Nicholson. Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci join us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Real quick here, 80th anniversary of D-Day. We talked about it for a segment last hour, but here's a great clip. This is from Normandy, Jake, and this is thousands of French, this from today, high school students packing out a stadium, giving a very long standing ovation to World War II veterans that were returned to Normandy. And look, it goes on for a while, and we're kind of light on time. But I thought that was thank you for Nookie for putting us on the radar. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah,
man. See the current generation appreciate those who saved their lives 80 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, obviously 80 years ago, and so like you just you want to make sure that the ones that are still with us, till the very end, that you let them know just how grateful you are.
I agree. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Visit our Tilted Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Suite. Favorite roller coaster ever?
Velocicoaster at Universal.
I don't know.
God, this is such a chalk answer. I love Jurassic Park at Universal.
Deja vu. Well, are we counting that as a roller coaster or a ride?
I mean, it's kind of got.
I mean, it's got the drop.
Yeah.
It's got a drop. Either way, who
If
cares?
we're just going roller coaster, what's the one, the Texas Giant in Six Flags in Dallas?
Six Flags has some good roller
made out of,
coasters, dude.
I think it was wooden track.
Yeah, those old
That's
wooden
one I
ones
remember.
The Rattler.
Millennium Force at Cedar Point. Good one.
Ask the Bench.
Oh gosh, the one in Disney in California, now that it's Incredible, has taken it over. The California Dreaming.
Oh, the Incredicoaster?
Oh, I haven't ridden it.
You've never ridden that one?
I wasn't there when I went there, I don't think.
Oh, it's been there forever.
Incredicoaster's fun too.
Ask the Bench, do you think Central Plumbing can fix Babe Ruth's plumbing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, if anybody can, it's them, but it's a tall task.
Ask the Bench, have you seen Tiana's Ride POV? I've seen portions of it.
I sent one in the chat.
I know, and I watched portions of it, but I kind of don't want to be completely spoiled because I know I'm going there in October. But it looks, the animatronics look beautiful.
It looks cool.
It looks really
I had
cool.
no idea that they did that.
Yeah, it looks
but
really
I like
cool.
Just
it.
recently, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Ask the Bench, who's the most annoying person at 104.5? I mean, guys, come on.
Shocker. Who's T-Bob going to say?
Soft Shell Taylor.
There we go.
Soft Shell Tete.
No
we
comment.
skipped your story of the day.
Oh, God, we did.
I apologize.
We did.
We'll do it tomorrow. Row.
Maybe.
Row. We love you. Y'all have a great day. I got snaps coming up if you want to hang out. And Jake is off campus. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
MMR Company is, the largest company we've ever been partnered with, and that's because they are the largest privately owned instrumentation electrical contractor in the entire nation. And guess what, guys? They're headquartered right here in Baton Rouge. That's why I'm so proud to bring you, or to be partnered with MMR and be allowed to brag on them for a little bit each day. If you are a college student, perhaps you're somebody who's been in this game for a while, a seasoned pro, or if you're just starting out in these fields, get in touch with MMR today and see what they can offer you. If outstanding benefits, a dynamic culture, opportunities around the world seems like things that you may be interested in, a solid career to set you up for life, well, apply now at mmrgrp.com. That's mmrgrp.com.
Yeah, you also can go to any search engine. Now, the website's great and it has everything that you need, but if you just want to go to your search engine and type in MMR Group, it's going to pull up exactly what we're talking about as well, the careers, how to get in contact with them, the locations, all the different things that MMR can do for you, mmrgrp.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal.